Welcome to the McKees 37 Trademark Garage. My name is Nick Rutter, and today we're going to completely detail this brand new Camaro ZL1. Now, what we're showcasing is the all-new McKees 37 Graphene ProCoat 2.0. This is a 10-year graphene ceramic coating that'll make this Camaro look better than it already does, believe it or not, and it'll protect it against the elements of nature and make it really easy to wash. Now, when you hear the term ceramic and graphene, a lot of people get apprehensive because they last so long, and there's a lot of dealerships and detailers that charge several $1,000s to install something like this. Well, at McKees37.com, we have a complete kit from start to finish that walks you through every step of the process so you can apply this product in the comfort of your garage. Now, yesterday I went ahead and I washed the Camaro, which we filmed a separate video for that, and for the wash process, even though this car is brand new, I washed it using the McKees 37 Coating Prep Auto Wash to help remove any previously applied waxes and dealership applied sealants or anything like that. I used extreme iron remover to chemically decontaminate the paint, and then we dried it and pulled it in here in the Trademark Garage. And I have my team, and from right to left I have Gary, I have Chris, and I have Jerry. We're going to detail this Camaro, and the process that we're walking through today is the clay bar, which is the mechanical decontamination. We're going to polish it using McKees 37 Complete Finishing Polish. Then we're going to use our coating prep spray to remove the polishing oils. And last but not least, we're going to apply the ProCoat 2.0. And while you're watching this live feed, if you go on McKees37.com, use the code FEED25 to receive 25% off all the chemicals on McKees37.com. And we have a kit on special on McKees37.com. When you click the graphene tab, go to the graphene kits, and you'll see various graphene kits that we have on special as well. And last but not least, and then I'll be quiet and we'll get to work, is that we're having a contest. At the end of the event, I'm going to announce a winner, and you'll win a graphene kit, which is pretty much what we're showcasing today. It's a retail value of over $400, and that'll be given out to one lucky individual. So, but you have to tune in for the entire event. And if you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask them. We got Yancey behind the camera. He's going to relay the questions to me, and I'm more than happy to answer for you guys. So to get started, thanks for joining us, guys. We appreciate that. And this car looks pretty good already, right? Now here's the deal. When you're watching this online, you might think, well, this car looks great, big deal, so what? It's easy to make a bad car look really good, but it's not so easy to make a good-looking car that's already shiny, make it look really, really, really shiny. So right now this car is a 9. We're going to take it to a 15 out of 10. So, and this is a testament to just how well this process works, because a lot of people, they think you can't get any better than this, but we know that we can get a lot better than this. And plus, you know, when you stand back 5 feet, the car looks good, but when you get up close, that's when you notice some minor defects and blemishes, which we're going to take care of. So the first step, guys, is we're going to clay the car. Why don't you come on this side, and I'll show you on the fender here. So using the clay bar system, you want to grab me a purple towel, Jerry, or either on the left side, the green or the purple, either one. So a clay bar is a mechanical decontamination, and what a clay bar does is it removes bonded contaminants. So when you wash the car, light dirt is removed, dust, fingerprints, smudges, all that. Well, there's bonded contaminants like rail dust, paint overspray. You know, from what I understand, my friend told me that the front bumper was actually repainted on this Camaro. So, you know, chances are when this bumper was off at the body shop, overspray landed on the car, the clay bar takes care of all of that. So the clay bar is really simple to use. You have a bar starting off, aptly named clay bar. And there's a lot of clay bars in the market, and some are really good and some are not so good. McKees 37, we only have the best. So with this clay bar, it's very pliable. It doesn't break up when you fold it or reknead it. It stays very malleable, and it doesn't leave your hands sticky or stained afterwards. So there's a lot that goes behind this. And using a clay bar is simple. You take the lubricant, and before we get started, I should point out, I did the hood yesterday. So we're not touching the hood today, okay? So take the lubricant, and you'll spray it directly on the paint. And it's really important that you use an ample amount of lubricant. The lubricant provides a lubricious barrier for the bar to glide across. So spray the lubricant on, and then what you do is you take the bar and you form it into a patty, which you can squeeze it like that between the palm of your hands. And when you're using this, it's really important that you don't hold it with your fingers right here. You follow me? Because what will happen is as you're rubbing it across the surface, your fingers will work their way through, okay? So put the bar in the palm of your hand, and since this is a brand new bar, I'm going to spray it with some lubricant. And you simply rub back and forth. And you're rubbing using a fast hand motion. Back and forth, just like that. And initially, you'll feel it grab a little bit. That's perfectly normal. When it's grabbing, it's actually removing the contamination.
All right, Nick, real quick, can you go any direction or you have to go straight lines?
So you can go any direction you want. I like to go straight lines because consistency. If you want to write your name in it, you want to go up and down, zigzags, whatever you want to do, you can, but I like to just go in a straight line.
What if the clay lubricant gets all over the wheel, like you just got overspray all over the place?
So,
do anything to that?
Good question. So the clay lubricant, it's safe on all surfaces. So it'll wipe right off. It's not going to cause any damage. So you simply take the bar, rub it like that. You just want to make sure that you have plenty of lubricant. And then what will happen is, after you clay a section, you know, this car is in really good shape overall. It's brand new, so there's not a ton of gunk on here. But what you do anyway is after you clay a section, you take the bar and you knead it and you trap that area, and then you put it in between the palm of your hands and you squeeze and you create a brand new patty. And what happens is when you rub the bar across the surface, there's an abrasive in here, and it essentially shaves off the contamination. It's stuck in the bar, which if this car were 10 years old, you would see tons of gunk on here. And then when you re-knead it, you're trapping it. So it makes the paint really smooth. The process that we go through is to make the paint smooth. Gloss comes from smoothness. The smoother the paint, the glossier it's going to be. And then the coating itself fills in all the pits, pores, and valleys, and it makes the paint just look like glass. It's a fantastic process. So after you complete a section or a panel, take a microfiber towel, which on the left side of the table, the green, the purple, the blue, those towels are for this process. So we want to stick with those towels. And it's always good practice too, especially when it's someone else's car. This is not a 10-year-old Camry that we got off Craigslist. This is a brand new, $65,000 Camaro. Take a second and inspect your towels, you guys too, okay, to make sure that there's nothing in the towels. So do a visual inspection with your eyeballs, and then you can actually do a tactile inspection with your hands just to make sure there's nothing in the towel. It's happened to me where I've found something, and I've seen it happen to other people where there actually is something in there, and they go to wipe a product off their paint, and they leave scratches. So always inspect your towels, and better yet, if you buy a brand new car like this, buy yourself new microfiber towels. It's worth the money, it's worth the investment, especially if it's a car like this, but even if it's a brand new Corolla, whatever it is. For most people, a car is your second largest investment. So spending, 50 to 100 bucks on new towels, it's chump change compared to what you have invested here. Plus the paint job is a lot more than that. And then you just take your towel and you wipe off the lubricant. One thing about this clay lubricant is that it wipes off really, really easily. It's body shop safe too, for my friends that own a body shop. Doesn't streak, doesn't smear, and you'll notice that it actually smells really good too.
Is there any kind of time frame you have to get that off of there? You don't want to leave it on there too long?
That's a good question, Chris. So not really. I mean, if it dries, then just take the lubricant and just mist some more on there, and that'll soften it. But I sprayed it on. I showed you how to use the bar, and then I'm sitting here talking for a few minutes, and you can see it came off no problem. Okay, so and then afterwards, I mean, the paint is considerably slicker. It's dramatic before and after when you feel the non-clayed paint versus the clayed paint.
Yeah,
so,
I don't have field of vision.
Yeah, it makes a big difference. So you guys at home, it's very smooth. And when you're working on an older car, what's really neat is that when you take your hand and you feel the paint, you'll actually hear it. It'll make noise. After you clay it, when you rub back and forth, you won't hear that noise anymore. So that's pretty cool. So we're doing the buddy system in terms of the clay lubricant. So there'll be 1 bottle of lubricant for every 2 people. So we'll have 2 guys on this side. I have myself. I'll take you then, Gary. Okay. And then you guys are on that side. You each have your own clay bar. So we already did the hood. That's done. The front bumper is new paint. We're not doing anything to it. My friend requested we don't touch it, so we're going to respect that. So we got the roof, the doors, the quarter panels, the back. Let's get to work. And for any dirty towels, I have a bin over there. It says dirty towels. We'll take them and we'll throw them in there, okay?
On the clay bars, can they be used on later on another car?
Yeah, so good question. So Gary asked, can I reuse this clay bar? Well, on a car like this, absolutely. So this car being in really good shape overall, there's not going to be a ton of gunk or dirt or contamination in the clay bar, so you can absolutely reuse this a couple times. Now,
When would be the only time that you couldn't reuse it?
so you can't reuse the bar, number one, if you drop the bar. Guys, if you drop your clay bar, please just don't use it, okay? We'll throw it out. You don't want to reuse the bar when it gets to the point where when you keep re-kneading it, and then you always have dirt, and grime. Yeah.
Showing.
Yeah, yeah. I've already lubed it down for you, Gary.
You want to start from the top and work down?
Yeah, yeah, either way, it's fine. You can do the roof, and then the door, or do the door, whatever you want. With the clay bar, it doesn't really matter. Smells good, doesn't it, Jerry?
Nice stuff.
A lot of research goes into these fragrances, you know.
And how many times a year should you clay your car?
So how many times a year you should clay your car? That really depends on if the vehicle is parked outside and how often you drive it. My good friend that owns this car, it's parked in the garage, and it's not his daily driver, so he could get away with doing it every couple of years, especially since he's going to have the graphene coating on here by the time the car leaves the shop. He won't have to clay it again for a long time. Now, if he does live next to, let's say, within a decent range of a body shop or railroad tracks, then he would want to clay more often because of the airborne contamination. Great question, Jerry. So yes, you can. A lot of people, if you have a very strong coating on your vehicle, like this graphene coating, let's say you do get some very mild paint overspray on the car, you can just clay it off. It's not going to harm the coating.
Should we use like one towel per panel, or?
So with this, Chris, it doesn't really matter. You'll want to grab a new towel when your towel becomes so saturated that when you're wiping off the lubricant, it's just smearing it around. It's not actually wiping it off. And the owner gave me permission that once we finish it, we can all squeeze in here and we'll do a top speed run on 995, okay? And no, you're not driving, Chris, so don't ask.
Are we going to record that?
Yeah.
All right, Nick, I have one question coming in here for you, and this is directed just for you.
Okay.
Let me move the camera a little bit.
Should I ask my friends to leave?
No. CJ Byrne, is the Camaro faster than your Mustang, Nick?
Oh man, this Camaro would blow the doors off my Mustang. No question about that. And I hate to do a shameless plug, but the Mustang's for sale. if anyone's interested. Like, I'm actually not joking, so.
Okay, here's an actual question pertaining to what you guys are doing. What's the difference in quality of contamination removal between a clay bar and the clay towel?
All right, good question. So there's the clay bar, and then there's clay towels, and there's also clay mitts and clay gloves. Clay gloves and clay towels are the same. Actually, I have one over here. I'll grab it. So a clay towel or a clay glove, that's a tongue twister. They actually have a...
Here, let me switch to this camera. You're on this one.
They actually have a rubberized polymer coating. So the clay bar is real tacky and it contains an abrasive inside. Well, this is a rubberized polymer coating, and the way this works is it actually shaves off the contamination and it's not stuck in the material like on a clay bar. So the clay towels and the clay mitts and the clay gloves, the advantage they have is when you're working on something that's in really bad shape, If I owned a detail shop and I was having, used cars come throughout the shop all day long, I would definitely use a clay towel or a clay glove. But for something like this, I prefer to use a clay bar, and the reason why is because it's far less aggressive. This is not my car. It's in pretty good shape overall. And as a car guy, I mean, a lot of effort. When you look at this Camaro, this is a very stylish car. For me personally, I really enjoy rubbing the bar across the surface and just feeling the body lines and all the art that went into the design of the car.
Right.
Oh, and another advantage of the clay towel or the clay glove is that if you drop it, you can rinse it off, and they last a lot longer in general. So if you have a high volume shop or you just detail part-time or on the side, get yourself a couple of these. They're great.
But they do cost more at the beginning.
They do, but cost per application, they're less.
Yep, exactly. All right, now we have another question. JB's coming in here. Can you use McKee's iron remover as a clay lubricant if you wanted to?
So yeah, you can. My good friend Ivan LaCroix, we filmed a video recently where he actually used an iron remover as a clay lubricant, and that's more of a like what a shop would do for just a maintenance detail. But me personally, I don't like that process because there's you're compromising a little bit when you're doing a detail like this. For a production detail, for something that's maintaining it, that's perfectly fine. But otherwise, using the lubricant and then using the iron remover for each respective application is going to yield better results overall. Great question, though.
All right, I have another good question coming in here. I love the name. I'm just not going to repeat the name, but in order to bring it on the screen, everybody's going to see the name. But we're just going to go BFL. All right, you wait until you see his name. It's funny. Yancey, is there different kinds of clay texture?
Well, there's different qualities of clay bars, yeah.
And grades?
And grades, yeah. So clay bars come in various grades, and when I mentioned at the beginning of this, there's a lot of inexpensive clay bars on the market, and what will happen is when you re-knead them, they actually break apart and they don't last that long. So, and as a byproduct of the quality, that also changes the texture and the pliability of it.
All right, awesome.
How we doing, guys?
And Mitchell Long, that is a ZL1. This is what that is.
Yep.
What's
that, Jerry?
650 horsepower?
Yeah,
650.
supercharged.
Supercharged. Nice car.
Clay bar windows.
So Jerry asked, can you clay bar windows? And the answer is yes. You can clay bar any hard, smooth surface.
Chrome, wheels, whatever you want.
Yep, whatever you want. Hey Jerry, a lot of people that have granite countertops, they actually clay them too after a couple of years.
That makes sense. 1,000,001 uses for clay.
Yeah. Yeah, when you're selecting a clay bar, get it from a reputable manufacturer. There's a lot of stuff online. If it looks too good to be true, if it's on an auction site or another big site, just be mindful.
If I clay bar over the same spot a few times, I don't realize it. Is it going to do any damage going over the same spot 5
No.
times or something?
If you go over each spot, no, not at all. The most important thing is make sure you have plenty of lubricant, because if you go into an area where you don't have lubricant, the bar will grab and it'll leave a residue on the clay bar. Or, excuse me, leave a clay bar residue on the paint. So like this right here, Chris, I would wet this whole quarter panel instead of just doing a section.
Here, let me get over there where you guys are at, so that way they can see.
Get the whole thing. Get the whole thing. Yeah, soak the whole thing down.
All right, what are you talking about?
So he was asking if you can clay bar, or if you clay bar the same section multiple times, will it cause any harm? And I said no, but I told him to cover the entire area with lubricant so you're not dry rubbing the clay bar on the paint, or else you'll leave a residue on the paint and it can be difficult to remove.
Right now, this feels a little bit rough. Right in this area, right here.
So there might just be some contamination that landed on it. Let me see. So take this guy, a little bit, re-knead it to a new one. And what you can do is rub nice and fast. And then I'll put, I don't know, 5 pounds of downward pressure. You're not gonna cause any damage with this.
And make sure you remove all rings and stuff like that.
Yes, yeah. I don't think any of us here have a bunch of jewelry on.
If you're Mr. T, do not do that.
Did you feel any kind of roughness here?
Not now. Maybe just a tad when I started. So there might have been like from the body shop. There might have been something that's overspray or whatever.
All right, I'm gonna go check and see if we have some more questions. All right. Like I said, I asked everybody to post up where they're coming in from. We got people, Al Daly, coming in. Hold on, let me catch up over here. Al Daly's coming in from Maryland. Thank you for tuning in. Humberto, pretty sure he's in Puerto Rico. Then we have Matt Lauer coming in from Nick's home state, Michigan.
Oh, nice, nice.
We have JB coming in from Orange County, California. Cliff LeBlanc from Flowwood. I love that name. Flowwood, Mississippi. Then BFL. We have Brian Gibson coming in from Hobe Sound. Tom Lanco coming in from Rock Hill, South Carolina. I appreciate all of you guys tuning in, and I'm sure that we're going to be doing more of these in the future. No, Nick?
Absolutely, yeah.
And don't forget that we have this $400 contest going on. And then Nick will be, once this is all done, he'll go through and he'll announce it all in the comments. Then we also have the feed FEED 25 for 25% off all chemicals until midnight tonight. That is November 18th, 2022. Or if not, somebody 2 years from now will, hey, you have a feed 2025 going on. All right.
And I want to add, if anyone happens to buy the Mustang, you get the kit for free. Okay, that's included with the purchase.
That's a deal. You'll even throw in some extra microfibers.
No, I won't.
That's funny.
Yeah. No, it's an incentive. And yeah, to make on, you know, it's a Ford. You have to bribe people to buy it.
Oh, you said that, not me.
Hey, doesn't hurt my feelings.
All right, what's this about a contest? All right, let me go to the actual post and then I will read it to you guys. All right.
If you guys want any water, I got water there.
Did you get this whole quarter panel?
Copy?
Yeah.
And
the quarter
I am
panel?
posting the contest.
Yeah, I got the quarter panel. Yeah.
All of this, Jerry, right?
Yeah, quarter panel's good,
right
Gary.
now. Watch the entire event and you will have a chance to win the graphene kit valued at over $400. Okay, so that's what's going on.
But you have to pay a finder's fee of $400 plus shipping and handling.
Oh, well, how much are you selling the Mustang for?
Just kidding. Someone wants to know?
No, how much?
Oh,
that way that's the finder's fee.
Oh, yeah. Get out of here. You got me excited there for a moment.
Your ears perked up pretty quick.
I know, I woke up. Uh-oh.
That's just a paint imperfection.
Paint imperfection.
A little dirt in the paint.
Ryan L. I don't know if you're saying what I think you're saying,
Yeah,
but
that's
Ryan L
dirt.
says, put it on my next order, Nick. Maybe
What?
he's meaning your car?
Oh, boy, yeah.
All right.
That we have just a slight imperfection right in through here,
Oh, here, let me get over there.
showing Gary a little bit.
Let me get over there.
Right there.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
the clay lubricant's drying up on the windshield, so what am I using? Just saying
You can just mist it on there and wipe it off.
with the
What'd you guys
Yeah.
find?
lubricant.
Yeah. So he found a little scratch right here.
Well, that's where one of the next steps is going to come in and eliminate
Yep.
that.
Keep that in mind.
And another good thing about claying is you get to visually inspect your car for any loose nuts, rivets, anything like that.
Yeah, actually, Jerry found a dirt over here, dirt nib in the paint. And that's not too uncommon either. Oh, and I got something really exciting for you guys too. We'll show later on. I have the new Flex FS140, the flexible shaft. So we'll be showing this guy on the PXC80. This allows us to get into the real small intricate areas. It takes an already versatile tool and makes it a lot more versatile.
Now, if I have to do this outside, what kind of weather conditions am I looking for as far as
So
how can I do this outside?
you don't want to do it while there's a hurricane or a tornado. Preferably, you don't want to clay bar a car that's hot in direct sun. So work in the shade or in a garage.
It doesn't matter if it's 95 degrees out, but it's just as long as it's in the shade.
In the shade, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. When the panel's hot, the lubricant will dry much faster, so it's not going to be that effective.
All right, Nick, I have a question coming in from Ryan
Yeah.
L. Are the flex shafts in stock?
Yes, Chris. How many do we have left?
We have, I think, 3 left.
3 left. Man, they come in one door, and they go out the other. So if you want the flexible shaft, and I'm not joking, place your order now, because after this we'll get back to packing orders, and we have more inbound from Flex, but they come in and they go right out. All the Flex stuff does it, as a matter of fact, but the flexible shafts, yeah, it's been a very popular tool.
We just sold our last, the PXC80 cordless mini one. These go
Oh no,
right
I
into this
got 24 more on the shelf. Yeah. Yeah, we always got more of those. Yeah, Flex is a
Actually,
popular
Nick,
tool.
yes, tell us how much for the Mustang. How much do you want for your Mustang?
I have it listed right now for $24,250. It's a 2014, 51,900 miles, Corsa axle bag, JLT cold air intake, brand new suspension. Car rides like a dream. Just time to get rid of the third car.
Yeah. No, it's because your son wants to drive it.
Yeah, well, I did teach him. I did teach him how to drive a stick on that.
There you
so
go. There you
yeah. Most kids don't get to learn on a 450 horsepower V8, or learn at all. I mean, a lot of kids don't even know how to drive a stick.
All right, here's a good question for you. CJ Byrne 27. As we come into the winter season, what temperature should this coating be applied in?
Good question. So I would try and apply it 30 degrees or warmer, preferably, if you can, 50 degrees or warmer, but it is pretty flexible. If you get down into the 30s or 40s, that's fine. The only thing that you'll notice with the colder temperatures is the flash time. So you'll just have to slightly adjust your technique in those colder temperatures.
What will it flash faster or slower?
So it'll tend to flash slower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a little harder to wipe off?
Yeah,
Or just
it's
longer wipe off removal?
Yeah. It's. I would never use the word hard for this coating.
Yeah, just to be
for removal, but
more of a
yeah.
lengthy process.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we clay bar the tail lights and the headlights?
Yeah. So any hard, smooth surface. Yeah.
All right. That is one gorgeous car in there right
Oh,
now.
it is, man. I mean, It is a nice. I don't think I've ever seen this color, to be honest with you, Yancey.
Suburban, I think they have like a close. I've seen a Suburban or something that had that color. One of their SUVs has that.
Yeah, this is and not just the color itself, but the quality of the paint job too. You know, you and I were talking about that yesterday. Minimal orange peel.
Yeah, no, I mean that paint job is a hell of a lot better than any of the Corvettes that
Oh,
I've seen.
Gary's pretty familiar with these. He said it's a new color for 2000. This is a 23, Gary?
Yeah.
No kidding. Oh wow. Very cool.
Okay, I got.
Oh, Jerry, that's the coating prep spray. It's the wrong one.
All right,
Yeah,
here we go.
wipe that off.
Thank you.
All right, we have first from Puerto Rico, which is Humberto, if I remember correctly. What is the appropriate flash time for temperatures over 90 degrees Fahrenheit?
So I have applied this in over 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and to be honest with you, it really doesn't make a huge difference. So with this coating, and I'll go more into it when we actually apply it, but you know, manufacturers of different coatings, they say wait exactly this long or do this.
What you always say? 5 hours, 15 seconds.
Well, that's yeah. So with our flash time, by the time you apply it to a panel, you know, this fender is a panel. By the time you finish applying it to a panel, it's flash. It's ready to be wiped off. So I found that to be much easier to instruct people than telling them an exact time frame, because then you're timing yourself, and it's just
watch for the flash and go.
just do the panel and then wipe it off.
Yep.
You know.
Blah, 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 blah. Functional dock. You know, functional dock is good to be back. Thank you for that. It's good to hear Yancey. Thank you.
Cool.
Then
How's the back, guys?
Ask him. That car looks amazing. Yes, it does. That car.
Another little
And just wait till it's done. I mean, we still got to polish it and then put the coating on. So it's going to go from, you know, like 10 to 27 here in a minute. Is that color one of the tinted clears GM likes to use? Is that a tinted clear, or is that actually the color?
So Gary knows GM pretty well. Gary, is this a tinted clear?
tinted, yeah.
Okay, so that's cool. So the tinted, clear coat, the name clear coat, basically the way the paint systems work is you have your color coat, and then the clear coat acts as a window to the color coat. But with the tinted clear, the actual clear coat has a tint to it that has the color in it. So that's probably the reason this looks so good. Now, what's exciting about that, and I did not notice this yesterday, but a lot of times when you polish a tinted clear coat, you'll actually get some of the color on your pad, much like you would with a single stage paint job.
Sure.
But that did not happen when we filmed this yesterday, so might not be the case. But I have seen it on the pad with other vehicles, though, with that tinted clear coat.
Jonathan, he's just like what you just said. So you may see some color on pads when polishing.
Yeah, to make you really nervous when you're working on a car like this and it's a customer's. If you're not familiar with tinted clear coats and you see the color of the paint on your pad, because usually with a clear coated car, if you see the color on the pad, that's indicative that you burned through the paint. So
that means, yeah, you're in problems
that's
now.
when you have to change your underwear because you're freaking out. But if it's tinted clear, it's not abnormal, but I didn't notice it yesterday.
No, I don't remember seeing it on any of your pads either. Thank you, Humberto. It was good to be back. Can't keep me away. We have John T coming in here. Jonathan T, I should say. Hi, Nick. Keep up the great work.
Thank
John
you.
Tardy. Yeah, and if you guys have any other questions that may not even be pertinent to what we're doing here, put them in the comments and I'll shout them out to Nick and we'll get them all answered.
Yeah, I'm an open book. You guys can ask whatever you want. Just keep it family friendly, please. That's all we ask.
That's talking to you, Bunny. I still love your name. Absolutely love your name.
You dropped it? Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
All right, security, haul this clown out of here.
All right, who's dropping what?
First fatality.
So,
Actually, let's go to that camera and see if you can walk up and see if there's anything on it.
I do see a little bit, but I'll tell you what, we keep the floors clean here.
Yeah, right there. Right there.
So if you drop the clay bar, this is how you fix that. Take your garbage can, Chris, take your garbage can and throw the clay bar away. And then make sure your friend, whoever helps you, buys you lunch to make up for the cost of the clay bar.
There you go. Back on camera, 1. 1, 2. That'll be 1. That'll be 2. Jonathan T, yes, we did talk about synthetic clay. Let me throw you up on there. We did talk about the synthetic clay, how you can drop them and rinse them off and so forth. Just so for this one, we're demoing the actual traditional clay. But yes, you are right. Ryan L, are you going to discontinue any of the older products?
We really don't discontinue too often. Everything has a place in the line. That's one thing about the McKee's lineup is, our product line is very dialed in. We have specific products without getting to the point where it's confusing or it's too overlapping. We're very fortunate, we're very blessed that everything sells well for us. So no, I don't see any discontinuations anytime soon. But formula updates, absolutely. We're always doing that.
Functional dock. You don't have a paint thickness gauge here, do you?
No.
Okay. How thick is the paint on the car?
So normally a car like this, it would be 3, 4, 5 mils. A GM expert that has a lot of experience with these cars would know, but 3 mils, for example, that's as thick as a piece of printer paper. So there's really not a whole lot on here. But what we're doing, we're not taking off really any paint at all. You guys about finished?
All right, going to 2.
What if we skip the clay bar part?
Okay.
Polish it anyway.
So
What if we skip that?
that's a good question, Gary. So Gary asked, what happens if we just skip the clay step? Well, if you skip the clay step, then you're skipping one of the most important steps, because the clay removes the bonded contaminants. And if you don't remove those contaminants, then you're essentially polishing over them.
And coating them in.
And coating them in. And remember, Gary, gloss comes from smoothness. So
The pad would not pick them up.
no, well, I mean, it's some stuff it might, but no. The clay bar is far more aggressive rubbing it on the surface than a piece of foam that's just skimming the surface.
Yeah, so you'd be surprised how many people think, oh, I can just take a compound pad and over the top of that, and I can be right over the get all that stuff off. And I'm like, yeah, good luck with that.
I know, and you know what my favorite saying is, Yancey, people tell me, they say, I've been detailing for 30 years. Now, it doesn't matter how long you've been detailing,
I have a question for you.
Yeah, sure, Jerry.
Can you use different clay mediums, the different lubricants with your products?
So yeah, you can. Any high quality clay lubricant from a reputable manufacturer will work just fine. What I don't like doing is, I'm not a huge fan of using car washes for a clay bar lubricant. And I'm also not a fan of using detail sprays, because detail sprays contain gloss enhancers and polymers and waxes and all these things that you're putting on the paint, which to me it's kind of redundant. You're working backwards because you're adding something while you're trying to remove protection.
Jonathan, skipping clay step, rock tumbler. Okay, going to 2. All right, we done claying?
We finished, fellas? All right, let's get rid of those towels, throw them in the hamper.
I'm gonna go over it real quick.
Oh, here's a good question. Going back to 1, what is the preferred rinse aids and toppers does McKee's offer for this coating? That is from CJ Burn 27.
So in terms of maintenance, any of the graphene line is optimized to maintain this. We have the hydrographene, which you can top it with. We have the graphene deep gloss ceramic sealant, which you can use to top it with. The detail spray. Then we have the wash to maintain it, the rinseless wash. So a lot of options there.
Okay. And Awas, I probably just ruined your name, Arkham. What have we done to this car so far? Basically, we just finished claying is what we just got done doing, and we're about ready to do a light polish, because this car, as you can tell, is in very decent shape from the dealer. So we're just gonna smooth it out before we put a coating on.
And then yesterday we used extreme iron remover along with coating prep auto wash.
Oh, thank you for pointing that out. I forgot to say that. Oh, here's a good question. Les Hernandez is coming in here. Hi guys, from Louisiana. Does the amount of maintenance washes adds to the durability of the protection, or not really a difference? Thanks again.
So my philosophy is that anytime you touch the paint, you want to be adding something. So with this graphene coating, it is really strong. It's much stronger than a wax or a paint sealant. Now, the graphene auto wash, it contains graphene, so it's going to help fill in any lost areas. And it's also designed to be compatible with the coating, so it's going to rinse freely, it's not going to clog the pores of the coating, it's not going to change the water behavior characteristics, anything like that. So
Okay.
always stick with the manufacturer.
Okay, real quick, 'cause you're about ready to get into that.
Yep.
Ryan L's coming in here, and I think this is a good one. Can the graphene 3-in-1 be used as a primer polish before the coating?
So good question. You can use the graphene 3-in-1 as a primer polish. Think of the 3-in-1 as like a cleaner wax on steroids. However, I'm not a fan of doing that, because the amount of time and effort it takes to use Graphene 3-in-1 is the same amount of time and effort it takes to use complete finishing polish. But you get much better longevity when you do not use a primer polish that has protection in it already. So use the dedicated polish, then the prep spray. That's going to result in better longevity.
Yeah, because basically if you're using the 3-in-1, you're going to be stripping the protection off when you use the prep spray anyway.
Yeah, or you don't even, the production detailers, they don't even use the prep spray. So all you're saving is the prep spray step, which that takes no time at all.
Yeah.
But hey, Chris, why don't you bring a orange towel over here, please? And I'm going to show you guys the polishing part.
Okay.
I think Yancey, for demonstration purposes, I'll show this on the windshield. Is that all right? So
Yes.
they can, you know,
Yes.
it's a good area to see.
Yeah, 1 second. Will this one flash as an oily look, rainbow, or as sweat? It will be a rainbow looking Roberto for the coating. That's how you'll tell. All right. I am going to switch to camera 2.
Okay, so since we're done with the lubricant and stuff, let's make that disappear and the bars. You got the towel, Chris? Thanks.
All right, I'm here.
Okay.
I mean, if you want, you can do it on the window, or you can do.
Well, I think with there's really not a good area to show like
Yeah.
a square or you know.
I,
So,
I was trying to find
Yeah.
one, and there wasn't.
and I wasn't gifted with my father's height, so the roof would be awkward for me. All right, guys, want to make your way over here? I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on the polishing. So normally the ideal area to show you guys how to polish, which all of you have experience, but just as a reminder, because again, this is not my car, this is my friend's car, so spending 2 minutes to give you a refresh is worth it, right? Okay. So normally I'd show you on the hood, but like I said, yesterday we did the hood already. So I'm going to show you on the glass, just so you can get an idea of what the polish looks like, how long to work it, and it's also more comfortable for me than doing the roof here. So we have a couple different polishers. Jerry, you're going to be using the Flex PXC80 on the back bumper. Okay, and then Chris, you're going to have the long stroke tool, and then Gary, you'll have the 3401, and I'll have the XCE. So basically what we're doing to this, the polishing step, you know, when you look at this car, it's like, wow, this car doesn't need to be polished. Well, it does need to be polished, and the reason why is, even though this car is brand new, there are some very minor paint imperfections. You have to look for them, but there's some real light water spots. There's some very light swirls. Gary found a few toweling marks from probably when the dealership, when they washed it and then they dried it. So polishing it absolutely is beneficial, and it actually acts to exfoliate the paint as well. So we chemically decontaminated the paint with the iron remover. We mechanically decontaminated it with the clay bar. Now we're removing below surface contamination with the polishing step. So absolutely worth it. Can you polish by hand? People ask me that all the time. Yes, you can. However, your shoulder gets tired. And if you're like me, you become impatient after a fender. It's kind of like when you're painting your garage. The first wall, you're like, wow, you really take your time, you do a good job. But the second wall, you're rushing it. You're just like,
The last one is just
yeah, the last one you're just,
best you can.
yeah. So when the machine never gets tired. You know, you just hold the machine. It's really simple, really easy. And this is a dual action machine. This is the XCE. And this is actually a gear-driven orbital polisher. This is made in Germany. So it's very safe. Even none of you guys have polished before. After showing you this section and maybe one more section, I feel confident handing you this machine, even on this nice, expensive car, to do it yourself. So very short learning curve, okay? So I have a white polishing pad on here. In the Redline series, this is the second to least aggressive pad. This has just enough mechanical cutting ability to engage the abrasives in the complete finishing polish. So this is an ultra fine polish. The abrasives are actually made in a laboratory. It's the highest quality abrasive technology that money can buy, period. If you felt it with your fingers, it feels like one of your wife's skin lotions that they put on. It's very fine, and this is actually what Wayne Carini, what his guys use at their shop at 40 Motorsports. If you didn't know, Wayne Carini is actually a partner in our company. A lot of people think that he's just a paid spokesperson. He's not. He's a partner, just like Bob, just like me. So it's me, Bob, and Wayne.
Before you go too far, Nick, what
Yeah.
makes that machine, or this type of machine, safe for a novice to use?
So good question. So being a dual action, you don't have anywhere near the heat buildup of a rotary. So a rotary just spins in one direction, or a circular polisher as you might know it, but a dual action, it rotates and oscillates, so you don't have swirls, and when you're on a raised body edge like this, you don't have to worry about burning through the paint. Where a rotary, you know, if you're washing the car and you're looking at something, then the rotary you can burn through the paint.
You always hear the stories of people burning through the edges. and
Yes,
stuff like
yeah,
that.
with the dual action, you don't have to worry about that. Now,
You'd have to sit on that edge for a very, very, very long time.
you would, and the paint would have to be compromised to begin with.
How about speed of your motor?
So for speed on this guy, which I'll get into here, each of these flex machines, except for the PXC, has a speed 1 to 6. We're going to be on the 5 speed for this. And what's nice about this tool, Jerry, is that the trigger is variable speed as well. So if you just go real light like that, so when you buy a tool, you know, like me, when I buy a tool, it's because I'm using it as a tool. A tool is supposed to make life easier. Buy the high quality tool. You know, we sell the Porter cables as well. They're great machines, but if you're watching this, if you're even thinking about buying a Flex over a Porter cable, then buy the Flex. Long run, you won't be happy with the Porter cable. It'll get the job done, but I've sold thousands of Porter cables, and people will buy them, and a lot of guys like yourselves that enjoy doing this, they'll buy it, they'll have it for 6 months, and then they'll come back and buy the Flex. So
Don't even use mine anymore.
yeah, see, you don't, yeah, just save yourself the money and buy the Flex. So with this polish, it doesn't take a whole lot. This pad is brand new, so my drops are a little bit bigger. All right, and you'll notice that it doesn't smell bad. None of our products are going to empty the room. There's a lot of low quality chemistry out there. But basically, we're not polishing the windshield. I'm just showing you this process on the windshield so you get an idea of how it works. So first, oh, there's a fly, or a gnat. So first and foremost, always make sure your pad is flat on the surface before you turn the machine on. If you splatter polish all over the place, then Chris has to clean it up. Okay, and it's gonna take a long time. So don't do that. Plus, we have Bob and Darlene's Mercedes convertible back here. This car has 7,000 miles on it. I don't wanna get polish on that fabric roof. Okay, so let's avoid that like the plague. Okay, so anyway, so flatten the surface. And with the polishing step, since we're not removing any swirl marks or very, very, very shallow swirl marks, there's no need to bear down lots of weight on the machine. I'm putting about maybe 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds of pressure. And I'm going at a medium arm speed, which you'll see here. When you're removing swirls, you'd be at a slower arm speed. So you'd be going nice and slow because you want the abrasives to engage with the pad and the paint. We're not doing that, we're polishing. The term is polishing, we're polishing the paint. So medium arm speed, and with this tool, you can work on a larger area. When you have a Porter cable or the comparable Chinese knockoff, you're restricted to like a 12-inch by 12-inch. Well, with this tool, you can work on a larger area. And especially since we're polishing, we're not correcting per se. So you'll start off by just spreading the polish out. Like that. And then I'm going to perform about 6 section passes. In a section pass, I'll go up and down, overlapping a little bit each way. That's one section pass. The next section pass, I'll be going the opposite direction, overlapping. So that would be 2 section passes. We'll do about 5, 6 of these guys, okay? You see I'm overlapping a little bit? That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. You see how the polish is starting to turn translucent? Okay, it's the abrasives, the diminishing abrasives are breaking down. So turn the polisher off, make sure the pad stops before taking it off the surface. And then we're going to use our orange brushed 365 microfiber towel. These are more densely woven, so these work really well for wiping off polishes. What I don't want to see any of you doing, because it'll scratch the car. Same thing with you watching at home. Don't hold the towel like this and go like this to remove the polish.
No caveman technique.
Don't be a caveman or a wild man. That's not how you remove polish. Even though this is a very soft material, if you crunch it up like that, if there's an edge or something gets trapped in it, you're more likely to scratch the paint. So just fold it 4 ways. This is how you properly fold the towel. Like that. And that gives you a nice area to hold your hand. And then take your microfiber towel and you'll break the seal. See a clean spot. And you take short, firm strokes to remove it. If you wipe really fast, then what's going to happen is you're just going to smear it around. Then flip your towel to wipe off the rest. That's it. And I have a whole stack of towels. And since we're teaming up on this paint, I don't think we'll have to use too many of the orange towels, but after a panel or two, what'll happen is your towel, because the oils in the polish, they'll be kind of smeary when you're wiping something off. So this is why, if you guys have ever talked to me on the phone, you might think I'm trying to upsell you, so you get more of your money. But the truth is, when you detail a car, you need plenty of towels. Jerry, you detail part-time. You probably have a ton of towels. Gary, you got 3 cars. You clean out. You need plenty of towels, right? I mean, you just can't buy 3 towels when you detail your car like this.
If you maintain them, they'll last a long time.
Well, yeah, and good quality towels are an investment. So, with our microfiber cleaner, you can wash them in your washing machine, and it makes them like new after every wash. So, buy high quality towels, preferably from us. If not, there's other reputable companies. Just what I don't want to see you do, or anyone do, is when you're at Sam's Club or Costco, buying a 40-pound thing of ketchup for the week, they have these big garbage bags of towels for like 15 bucks. Those are great for cleaning toilets, but for wiping off polish on a $65,000 car, it's not ideal. So there's times to save money, and there's times when you shouldn't save money on stuff like that. So does everyone understand the process here? So on this car, not every single application is going to be a perfect square like that on a flat area. So this door is really big. Since we're going over it quickly, you can divide the door in 3 sections. Okay, I'm going to have Gary on this side with me. We'll do this side of the car, and we actually want to start with the roof first. So make sure if you have your belt, you guys have some kind of thing in there. That's good. If you're watching at home, what you can do is take a towel. If you have a belt, because your pants are falling down, and you can stuff it like this in your belt, just to cover if you have a metal plastic or a metal clip. But you don't want your towel grinding up against the paint. When I detail cars at home and I'm not trying to look nice in front of a camera, I usually wear gym shorts and a t-shirt, so there's no worry of a belt at all. But we're going to start on the roof. So Gary, you'll tackle this side of the roof. Chris, you'll tackle the other side of the roof. I would split the roof up into 2 sections for each one of you.
So 4 sections total.
4 sections total, exactly, yeah. In the door, you can split up the 3 sections. Jerry, you'll be in the back with the PXC80. I'll be doing the fenders. You get plenty of towels. We have a bottle of polish for this side, and then you guys have a bottle of polish. We're using the orange towels, and it's the complete finishing polish that we're using. So let's get to work, and if you guys have any questions along the way, I'll be here.
I'm going to go back to the computer real quick and see if you guys have any questions.
Oh, and Yancey, while you're mobile, Yancey, I want to show something. Don't plug that in yet, Gary. So this is our new Pro Lock extension cord, 12 gauge, 15 amp. And this is the nice extension cord that money can buy. Look at this, it's lit. How many times have you had an extension cord at home? You go to plug it in,
Very frustrating.
and there's no power, right? Because something happened. So with this guy, it's actually, you have a locking collar here. Look at that. It stays plugged in like that, and when you're finished for the day, just like that, and best of all, this casing right here, it's not one of those ones that gets twisted up and,
Nice.
Oh, these are awesome. So McKees37.com, the Pro Lock, awesome extension cord, and last but not least, when you're using a tool like this, you go out and you spend $450, $500 on a new buffer. A lot of guys, they use an inexpensive cord.
$2 extension cord from Walmart.
I know. That's bad for your power tool. It's actually choking it. So the Flex, this is a power-hungry machine. it easily draws 10 amps. You want to have an adequate extension cord, so awesome tool.
We've got some tape out here, Nick. We want to tape off anything on this
Oh
car?
yeah, hey guys, real quick, Chris, this is more applicable. You can get to work, Jerry, you'll be fine, but we want to tape off this trim right here. So put the tool down. We're just going to tape this off. Thank you, Gary, for reminding me. And the reason we're taping it off, guys, is the polish. I'm asked this question all the time. People say, will your polish stain plastic trim? Well, no, the polish won't. But here's the deal. When you have a pad that's rotating at several thousand oscillations per minute, the pad, the abrasiveness of the pad going against the trim, that'll actually stain the plastic. So we do not want to buff over this plastic trim.
Okay, I'm gonna go check for questions.
Cool, nice job,
Bear
Chris.
with me 1 second, guys, while I get over to the computer.
And this is just regular masking tape. I wouldn't get masking tape at the dollar store if I were you. This is from Home Depot. It's good quality. Oh, you're pretty
Oh,
good
you
at
guys
that,
are
Gary.
busy over here. We have Al Daly coming in here. Does McKee's have a product that repels pollen?
Repels pollen. So any non-waxy synthetic or graphene or ceramic will help repel pollen, yes. Yeah, but the issue with pollen is that if you're using an oily wax, then that'll actually attract pollen. So use a synthetic alternative like a graphene or like an SiO2 product.
All right, we have Jonathan. Nick, what is your favorite flex tool? Forced rotation or free spinning?
Oh man, you know, people ask me that all the time. So I go back and forth, you know. If I'm working on a vehicle that just has big flat panels, like let's say a Lincoln Town Car or a new pickup truck, I will likely reach for the XFE. That's the 15 millimeter tool that Chris is going to be using here momentarily. It's super smooth, but I'll tell you what, when Yancey and I were filming the Camaro video yesterday for the hood, the XCE, which is force rotation, that tool just powered through all these different curves and contours because the pad never stops rotating. So if I had to live with one for the rest of my life, which it's really difficult to narrow down tools, I just tell people buy both. Why limit yourself to one? I would go for the XCE as my only tool.
Ryan L. New cars are almost never perfect. They usually have at least one area where the factory removed a dirt nib and left behind sanding marks. This one, I will say, is actually one of the better factory paint jobs that I have seen in a very long time. I mean, I was amazed. I literally thought that they polished this out before. So
Yeah, we only found in the repainted bumper we found like 2 or 3 dirt nibs, but the rest of the car. The entire car, I think we only found 2, so it's actually a really nice paint job.
Yeah. We have Cliff LeBlanc. What is your most aggressive compound? Used swirl remover on a new car that had plastic wrapper and been baked into the paint, ouch, and got about 9% out after using an adhesive remover.
So the most aggressive that we have is the complete swirl remover. If you need to go more aggressive than that, there's other product lines on our sister website, idscarcare.com. And one of the most popular compounds we sell on that site is Menzerna Fast Gloss 400, or I think they changed the name recently. It's Super Cut, but just look for 400 on the bottle. Really nice product, really high quality.
I'm probably going to kill your name. Fazil Junman. Excited to receive my 2 mystery boxes. They reached my freight forwarder earlier today.
By the way, all sales final with the mystery boxes, okay?
and the Mustang isn't in them either. Got Mike G coming in here. Good stuff so far, Nick.
Hey, Mike.
Okay, right here. I got to learn how to say your name. How would you say this? A-W-A-I-S. iOS? AOS? AOS?
A&W.
How about double A? Arkham. I like Nick for the fact that he promotes people to buy a premium product that they'll never have to replace over something cheap that becomes almost a subscription.
Yeah, we try and keep it simple. You know, our business philosophy, number one, is quality products. Number two, quality service. Everything we sell is top quality, whether it's a complete finishing polish or it's a buffer, or if it's something like, you know, the wheel woolies. You know, everything we sell the best of the best. It's no fun to sell inexpensive products. A smart business person will have customer retention, repeat customers. So the service, the quality, everything matters. All right, I'm gonna get to work.
Brian Gibson, when cleaning, do you need to tape the rubber trim to avoid any damage to it? No, just be mindful of where you're slamming your stuff around in there, but no, it should not be damage any rubber trim. Was this? All right, I got you. Was. I got you. Okay guys, I'm gonna go mobile and get you guys some up close in the action stuff, so I will be right back. So why did they give you the small polisher? Were you mean to them earlier? This is very true. Tips that you want to tell people about that tool?
So the forced rotation, you know, with this Camaro, one of the many advantages of this machine is that I have these body lines here. The pad is never going to stop rotating. It's always going to keep spinning. So I can do this area right here, I can do it here, and the pad never stalls. So you want rotation in your pad, and that's what this tool delivers.
You kind of almost go up on edge, kind of.
Oh yeah, easily. Yeah, like right here, I'm just like that. And it just keeps on going. Plus, these tools don't break.
No, they don't. I still have my original 3401 when they first came out.
You know, if you detail for a living, if you use the tool 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, then eventually, yes, there are components that'll wear out, but any tool is going to wear out after a while. How much money has that tool made you in that time?
Exactly. It's paid for itself over and over.
Over and over again, yeah. And this polish wipes off so easy.
Yeah, I showed that earlier up on the roof, how easy it wiped off. I mean, that is just, look at that reflection, people. Look at that. Great results.
Yeah, the car looked pretty good to, before, but let me show you something else about this tool, Yancey.
All right.
So you have panels like this. Yes, the ideal tool would be the PXC80. However, if money doesn't grow on trees for you, there's not a money tree in your backyard, and you're just having one tool to start, with this machine, you can get these small areas like this because of that forced rotation, and because you can polish on an edge. You can get up there and be really precise, or down here, of course, with the PXC80, it's easier yet, but if you have to have just one tool, then this guy is worth its weight in gold.
Do you want to demo that flux shaft?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll do that too, absolutely. Let me just get the
All right,
fender.
we'll come back to that. So
yeah.
here in a little bit, we'll demo the flex shaft. If you guys haven't seen that, it is actually a pretty cool little tool. All right, let me go see if you guys have any more questions over there. Give me 1 second. Nick, this one right here, Chris M. I ordered 2 mystery boxes this morning. Has Nick personally filled those boxes yet?
What time? It depends on what time. It depends on what time you ordered it. The mystery box was a very popular promotion this time, and we had a lot, to say the least. So chances are it probably did, but if not, just bear with me. We'll get it out as soon as we can, okay? At least you know that I have a good excuse why it didn't ship out yet, you know?
Ryan, manpower sure makes work go fast. That is true, so very true. Al Daly. The vibration on the flex polishes are really actually very nice. The nice thing about the 3401, either the corded or the cordless, is if you're new to force rotation, it actually teaches you how to polish. It'll teach you to keep your pad flat, and the actual vibration going out through the entire day is really not that bad at all, as opposed to some of the other inferior machines that are out there on the market. I'm not going to name names because I'm friends with everybody. But no, the vibration is actually really, really nice, and you know, I've worked a good 12 hours doing a car, and my arms weren't tired from that. Now, the older 3401s with the aluminum housings, they will get extremely hot, and you can burn yourself on those. But that's like after using them non-stop for hours and hours on end. Where the newer 3401 that they brought out, which is nicknamed now the Super Beast. They've corrected that problem. There's the housing is enshrouded in some plastic, so that way you don't get yourself with the metal. All right, hope that helped you out. Best thing to do is, what I can say is just go, hopefully either to somewhere that has one or know somebody that has one, and try it out, and guarantee you'll like the way that it feels in your hand.
How's it looking, fellas?
I'm going back through your guys' comments.
Pretty nice? I wouldn't want to pay for the gas bill for this thing.
Mo man, always fast shipping.
Or the
from Nick.
tires.
All right, let me switch over to that camera. Oh, Chris M tells you, no, he laughs out loud, no worries. The Graphene rinseless product is probably my favorite product right now.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, actually, that's a pretty good little topic. What's you guys' favorite MK37 product, McKee's product? Put it up in the comments. Let's see what you all say.
Yeah, that graphene rinseless, you know, my chemist told me that from a manufacturing standpoint, it's a real pain in the butt to make. You know, it's not like this stuff is made in my bathtub at home. You know, we have a full factory that makes this. And with the graphene formula, you have to add certain components at a very specific time during the blending process, or the whole batch is ruined. So there's a lot of science that goes behind all of this stuff.
Nick, could you help me out with this one? I want to say it's 8mm. Isn't the 34 8, or is it 12mm throw?
No, it's an 8mm. Porter cable, I believe, is 5, and then of course the XFE is the
15.
15.
Yeah, so it's 8.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I want to show you something real quick. Are you at a breaking point, Gary?
Yeah.
Okay, put the machine down, Chris.
Where are you going?
I'll go right here in front of the camera.
Okay.
Come over here, Chris. So after we do a section, what we want to do is take our pad brush, okay, and just brush the face of the pad. And this car is in really good shape overall. There's really not a whole lot of embedded dirt, but it helps remove any spent residue from the face of the pad. So I have one for this side, and I also have one for that side. I'm just showing them brushing the face of the pad, Jerry. If this car were, if I were doing this car by myself, I would use our System 4000 pad washer. All right, but since there's 4 of us and there's 4 tools going, the pad's not going to get as dirty to need that. So this pad brush, and also something else. They're not blocking the camera, are they, Yancy? Can you see okay?
I can see right down the
Okay,
middle
I
of
want
it.
you to hold this machine out, Gary. Hold it out like this. Put your arm just like you normally would on the top.
Are we doing karate lessons here?
Put it right here like you
forward.
normally would. Okay, now a lot of times when you polish the side of your car, I see people hold the machine like that. They're real far away. When holding it like that, hold your arm stiff. Okay, I can move you no problem, right?
Right.
Okay, bring it close to you, even closer. Now it's a lot harder to move you. So
Definitely.
when you're doing the side, get close to it. When you're not working on a lowered car like this, if it's an SUV, actually you can get your legs underneath. You want to get as close as you can to the panel. Otherwise, you'll really wear out your back when you're going like this. So get nice and close, and it's a lot more ergonomically correct. So,
And plus, it doesn't stress your body out as much.
well, yeah, you don't wear out your back. I mean, I've had 2 back injuries, and when you have a back injury, you really become more mature with how you treat stuff like that, right? So get nice and close. You don't want to be like this, because you'll, oh, my back, I can't come to work, you know? So nice and close. But with the PXE80, that doesn't really matter unless you're old and really frail. Yeah, no,
Way to go.
I mean, someone 20 years your senior, Jerry, okay? Come on, you got some time to go, you know?
What would be the right number of pads to use on a car like this? We're going to go through 4, I guess.
Okay, awesome question. So, number of pads on a car like this. If I were doing this at home by myself, what I would end up using, and I'm talking about just the larger pad, I would probably use 4 or 5 pads. The pads would not be completely ruined at the end of the detail because we're just polishing. What you want to do is after you polish a fender, take that pad off, put a new pad on because it gives time for the backing material to cool down. So you can extend the life of your pad by swapping out pads and just going back and forth.
Oh, okay.
And of course cleaning them. If you just use one pad, then the heat is the enemy of foam pads. So it'll cause the backing material to delaminate. So swap between pads, and when you're finished, we have a dedicated pad cleaner that works best to clean these. You don't want to use any kind of household detergents or toilet bowl cleaners, nothing like that. People do it, that's why I say it. You'd be surprised. You know, use a pad cleaner because a pad cleaner is formulated to remove the solvents, the polishing oils, the abrasives, all of that gunk that's in the pad, it removes it. So when you go to polish your other friend's new Camaro, you're not putting that back in the paint. So There's a right way and a wrong way to do everything. So, got it, guys? Okay, cool. Let's get back to work. Get her done.
All right, real quick. Sorry, real quick,
Yeah.
Nick.
Yeah.
Awaiz. That's how you say his name. Awaiz. He pronounced it for me in there. How do you clean your McKee rinseless wash sponge after a wash?
Oh, see, what I do is I rinse it out with the garden hose and I throw it in the bucket. That's how I clean it out. Just rinse it out, squeeze it, rinse it, squeeze it. That's it.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of guys really make that super complicated, and sometimes people are disappointed with my answer because it's almost too simple. But it's a sponge. We have to remind ourselves, it's a sponge, okay?
All right, Nick, got another one. Moman, it's coming from Moman. Is it better to use a waterless wash or a detail spray to wipe off a car after driving to a car show?
Good question. Can you hear me okay, Yancy?
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah.
So, if it does not rain, or if the road's not wet, you can use a detail spray. If you're on the way to the car show and the road is wet and water comes up on the car, or if you get a light mist or rain, then you want to use a waterless wash. Because the rain or the water from the road creates a film on the paint. That's when it's too dirty for a detail spray.
Let me mute them, so that way it's not as loud. Chris, how do you remove a professional coating, i.e. Ceramic Pro? You have to compound them off. Once it's a ceramic on there, most durable, you know, most people's ceramic coats that are on the market, once it's adhered to the paint, the only way to get them off is by a correction process, i.e. compounding. All right, the less effective coatings, usually you might be able to get away with a polish to get it off, but the Car Pro and, you know, all the other ones that are out there, you pretty much got to compound those off. Great questions, everybody. Great questions. Now let's see what you guys are saying about products. Rinseless products, but Hydro Blue with some voodoo magic stuff. I gotta put that up on there. Where are you at, Vizul? I love that. The voodoo magic stuff. That's awesome. Wireless wash, Mo soap. So you like that flexible shaft, huh? That is an amazing little tool. We did a video for it a while back for another project that we were working on, and just it's like 1,000,001 uses. We took out scratches out of a dash cluster, our Nick's Mustang. Then we took out scratches underneath the door handles, and isolated another scratch up underneath a little bezel where you couldn't really get a regular polish in there too. So yeah, there's a lot of different things on that.
How's it going, Chris? Nice. Looking good.
How are we looking out there, Nick?
Oh, we're looking pretty good. So, Chris, with that tool, you're going to have some limitations on this, the way this is. Mm-hmm. So what I would do is after you do that, you know, you can do this area.
Okay.
And you can also, did you already do this area, Jerry?
No, that's mine to do.
Okay, so
Oh, wow,
you can do this area.
That's too funny.
And then this will require a
You're
different tool
welcome.
because of the way the body lines are.
Okay.
Alrighty?
All right, Ryan L., this is for you, Nick. Nick, see anything cool out at SEMA?
Yeah, I mean, SEMA's full of cool stuff. I'll tell you what was really popular this year was the Ford Bronco.
That's how it was last year, too. It was
I mean,
Broncos
like,
everywhere.
every single booth had some kind of modified Bronco.
Did they have the Chia Pet Bronco this year?
I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, last year they had one that was wrapped with the Chia, where the outside they were watering it all day long.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I don't think so. But I'll tell you what was really nice about SEMA this year. Well, SEMA's always great, but the West Hall, that's new for SEMA. And if you've ever been to the show or you've
tunnel, I know where
you've
you're
worked
going.
the show, the north hall is usually where all the car care stuff is, and for food and for bathrooms, it really wasn't the ideal choice, especially if you're working the event. But the new west hall, man, they had a great food court,
Yeah, they
clean bathrooms.
Quick. I mean, you get in and out of there quick.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Then the tunnel, the Tesla tunnel.
We did that too. Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't believe how fast I got down to the south hall, because before,
Yeah.
you know, we'd be walking around. Actually, I'm like talking from the nether. Let me put myself up in here. I remember when you and I used to be over at Geek, and we'd walk, you know, we'd go to the show, then you go from the west hall, which is Westgate, and go all the way down to the south hall.
Yep.
It'd be like a 40-minute walk, because you have to deal with getting through all the people and everything like that. And now, last year when I was out there, we got in the Tesla tunnel, I was like 10 minutes from one side for the new Westgate,
Oh,
you know, the
that's
West
great.
Hall, all the way down to the south, 10 minutes. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I love this. Where's this been
And-
my entire life?
And the other star of the show was the Uber drivers. So, you know, this is my first time going in a couple of years because, you know, we had the whole COVID thing. And then last year we didn't go because, you know, it wasn't that busy. But Uber drivers, man, way to get around SEMA now is, Vegas is an Uber driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bunny, you guys are making good progress. Yes, they are. I mean, you guys are going to be the one that's telling me you guys should be able to start seeing this thing shine a little bit better from where they were at the beginning. Looking like we're getting very close to
Okay. And
stripping the paint,
there's another
and
pad here for you
and
too if you need it.
then turn around and applying the coating. So we're almost on the downhill swing. So probably got maybe another 30, 40 minutes left, and I think that we should be pretty much wrapping this thing up before too long.
I was sitting on the chair.
Oh, let me get my light. Hang on. Oh yeah.
Hey, let me go get on the mobile cam and let's see what they're talking about back there.
Catch it with my nail.
It's in the clear coat. Big compound up there.
So we have a scratch here, and it's actually in the clear coat. It's ever so faint, and my nail is catching it.
Catching it.
Very light, yeah. I think I might send the owner a text message, and I'll see if he's comfortable with me wet sanding to remove it. So if he says yes, then that would be a great demo then to do that. But for now, let's just ignore it, okay?
But yeah. Actually, let's do. Bear with me for a second, guys. Trying to get you guys something. Look at that reflection. There we go. Is that what you're needing? All right, let's go check out what's happening over here. Is this the first time you've used that tool?
Yes.
Yep. How do you like it?
It's good. I enjoy it. It takes a little getting used to compared to what I used to use.
Well, you know the benefit of that tool? It'll actually teach you how to hold that plaid flat. You put it on an angle, it'll pull or push right to you. Where if you actually held it flat, it's easier to handle.
I noticed that. Until I kicked back, I didn't want to show exactly what I had done.
Yep.
Self-teaching.
That's a self-teaching tool. Yeah, I'd say she's glossing up pretty good. All right. get back over and see what you guys are all talking about over there. Oh, are you going to demo that right now?
Yeah, I'll show Jerry how to use it
Okay.
and let him go to town.
All right. Demo time.
All right, Jerry, I want to show this to you real quick so you can go to town, okay? All right, so with the PXC80, you got a quick change collar right here. So you don't have to get any kind of real tiny special wrench that you're going to lose. And you know, if you're older and you have arthritis in your hands, you're trying to struggle to, you just, boom, just like that, real simple. So this flexible shaft, what it allows you to do is the shaft is flexible, as the name implies, and the power is transferred through the shaft all the way down here. So you can actually use the tool to get into the really hardcore areas like this. You know, if you just want to go bonkers with your polishing, you can really get in all the small areas, just like that. Oh, right up in here. And this Camaro is a perfect example for that, because you can see this is a recessed body line, and it really gets in there. Of course, when you use it, Jerry, you'll have a little bit of polish on there, just a dab. I mean, just take on your finger, just like that. Because what'll happen is if you load up too much polish, and
It'll spin all over.
It'll spin
you might
all
want
over.
to spread it out too a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. When you stick it in there, just spread it out and then turn it on. And what's also nice is the actual shaft of the pads. It's not a plastic, but it's not a metal. It's a composite material. So if you happen to blow this apart for whatever reason, you're a lot less likely to cause any damage. So when you want to use this, Jerry, it's all yours, okay?
Sounds like a good one for getting in.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, this is there's different attachments. This is a conical attachment. There's a cylindrical attachment as well. And the cylindrical one will
Would
get
be
up.
perfect up
will be
in there.
Perfect, man. I mean, actually, hey Chris, grab me the orange cylindrical, will you?
Now there's a difference. Not the
The cut.
polishing and cutting and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah, I don't know them off the top of my head just yet because they're weird colors. But
Everybody's different.
yeah, all right. But the orange is actually the softest one. So when you do this, Jerry, okay, look at this guy right here. Boom. I mean,
Beautiful.
absolutely right in there. You just gotta be careful, you know, clearly. But otherwise, it's straightforward.
Those have always been impossible to do.
Oh yeah.
That's
or you do it by
working
hand.
by
Yeah,
hand.
yeah, I'll take this from you. All right. When you're ready, it's up here, Jerry.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so what all do we have left?
You haven't touched the door at all.
No, I have not. No.
So the front clip's done, the roof's done.
Yep. Chris is just gonna knock out the door.
So we have a door and 2 quarter panels.
The front lid to do yet.
And the trunk lid, okay. I can
All right.
I can do the trunk lid.
All right. Chris M. How many batteries would you go through? How many batteries would you go through doing this by yourself? If we're talking about the 3401, the bigger flex tools, they get 40 to 45 minutes per battery and they charge in 40 to 45 minutes. So probably go through at least 2 batteries. You know, just depends on how fast and how hard you're cutting. But it does last a long time. Don't forget the mirrors. Yes, Ryan Al. Don't forget the mirrors. That's where that little PX80 comes in handy for those things. Yeah, that's a nice thing. Chris, I just saw you said thanks on that. That's the nice thing about the Flex. Their battery technology is by far the superior one that's on the market right now. I know from previous places where I've worked, I mean, we literally use tons of batteries. I mean, we got $30,000 worth of Flex tools, and majority of them are all cordless, and the batteries going from classes, and I mean they're constantly cycled on and off the charger, and never had a battery go out on us. And they're just, Flex makes a nice thing. So you get what you pay for. Bunny, I will find out on that and just stay tuned. I don't know. I'd have to get with Nick and find out when the replacement shafts will be in. I don't know if he knows or not, but we'll keep you informed. And if you pay attention to any of our social channels or on the website, we'll make sure everybody knows that where to go. And if you get our newsletters, all right, if you guys are out there and you haven't subscribed to the McKees 37 newsletter, go to the website, click on subscribe now, and get some amazing deals and stuff, and stay in tune just like that. When the new product announcements come out, that's where they go. If I missed any of your comments, sorry guys, I'm going back through some of these. Luke, yeah, that graphene rinseless, that's some nice stuff. We did a video a little while back, and I was pleasantly surprised with that. Oops, sorry. All right, so what, we just got quarter panels?
How much you got left on that door, Chris?
Front half.
So
Okay.
Chris says half a door. I got the spoiler. Jerry's doing the back there.
Has anyone got the trunk?
Still got the quarter here.
I'm doing the.
You're doing the trunk lid?
I just did the trunk lid. I'm doing the spoiler itself.
Okay, anybody get the mirrors?
Mirror. No.
I need a different tool for that.
You could use that, but this will work better. I'll get the mirrors for you, Chris.
I didn't do the top of this, what you said. It has to be-
Okay.
Yancy, 1 hour, 40 minutes. This is an epic live detail. There you go. I don't know if you've seen any of the past live details that we did, or that I did before with other people, but there's one where we actually did, me and Mike, we did an entire car in less than an hour using 3401 and Rupes Malay. So yeah, nothing new to these things. Ooh, that's awfully loud. Let me turn that. Yes, I mean, I'm going to be curious now. Mike G, paint is glossy. I'm going to be curious to actually go back to the beginning of the video and see the transformation between this, just seeing how much more gloss this polishing step actually enhanced. Mark, glad to hear that you ordered 2 mystery boxes. I'll be sure to let Nick know. And don't forget, guys, that we have the Fee 25 coupon code going off all day today until midnight, which Nick says you get 25% off all chemicals.
Man,
all
this
right.
polish is nice, and this paint.
I'm sorry, I muted you because it was loud.
Oh, it's okay.
Go ahead.
This paint polishes beautifully. I mean, this is a really, really nice paint. Really, really nice paint.
You would say that's a little bit on the soft side?
I would say it's medium. I mean,
Medium?
it is literally perfect. Some paints are really hard. Others are really soft and finicky, and this polish is like a dream.
And you're right about the difference between before and after.
Oh yeah, I mean yeah.
Humberto Yancey, thanks for relaying our messages and questions to Nick and also answering them. That's why I'm here, guys. I'm here to help. I like having fun. This is fun to me. All right, let's see what Gary's doing over there. turn Nick off while he's not talking. That way it keeps the noise down a little bit for you guys.
No? Up here? Okay, I'll be right here then.
All right. It looks like they're getting done. Turn Nick off here. Ryan, any Black Friday deals coming up? Well, do birds fly? Is the sky blue?
I would, yeah.
Do you know Bob and
Just be
Nick?
careful, that's
Of
all.
course there's going to be some Black Friday deals. That's a definite. Now just what they're going to be, yeah, that's going to be the surprise. I'm sure that they're going to have some great things. That I can share. I have no idea, Ryan. I literally have no idea, but I guarantee you that they're going to have some amazing deals. I know Bob from working with Bob many, many years. He always puts together some really good stuff, so stay tuned. All right, let's see here. What's going on with the other camera? All right, it looks like they're wrapping it up here. I feel like a NASCAR reporter. And they're coming around the turn 4 coming in. They're about ready to make a pit stop. They're going to change it out to this. Let's go here. Mark. Hopefully you get my new Mazda looking that good with a polish and graphene sealant. Well, we just showed you how you can do it. The only thing is just, take your time. If you're new to it, go slow and just take your time. Watch what you're doing, and I guarantee you that you'll get results as easy and as quickly as this. It's not hard. People always think that detailing's hard. It's really not. It's just paying attention to what you're doing, using good techniques with good products, and results speak for themselves. I mean, it's really not that hard. Tom Lanco, the paint looks spectacular. It is. I wish you guys could see it here. I mean, I know video is only so good through live feeds and stuff because of the compression and everything like that. But I mean, it is, the reflections that I'm seeing are just absolutely, I mean, look at the reflection on the door. Actually, let's see if I can zoom in here. Watch the reflection of Nick in the door. Gary, give me a second. Go back like that. Look at that reflection of Nick in the door. That wasn't there earlier. All right, Gary, you can go back. Thank you. But yeah, they're doing a good job.
Yeah, for that one, not as
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Bunny, it really even more shiny is that, if anywhere. Let's just say, yeah, more shiny.
It's a nice tool, huh,
Like
Gary?
glass. I'd have to say that that's what
3401?
it is. I mean, there's really not much more that you can do than more than glass.
Those rocker extensions, with the tool that Chris is using, you couldn't do that. It wouldn't spin.
Now let's see. Let's drop in on what Nick
Just
is
keeps
talking.
on going.
What were you saying there, Nick? Sorry, I had you muted.
I was talking about the Flex 3401, which the new version is the XCE, and how he's doing these rocker panel extensions like it's nothing.
Yeah.
Because the pad just keeps going and going and going. So it's a sweet tool.
Yeah, you can't stop it. I found that out.
No, there's no stopping that one.
Nope. So I think we're almost, Chris, we just have this quarter panel, right? Or the top upper portion?
Yes, this portion right
So the upper portion. Okay, cool.
So the windowsill. They're the A pillar and B pillar. Or actually, that'd be the top. No, that ain't the top of the door.
So it's really hard to see, Yancey. I'm sure your
Here, I'm on 2.
your technology can pick it up. But did you notice anything about your pad, Chris? It has a very, very, very slight tint to it.
All right, here. Let me
Very
see if I
slight.
can get that. Let me see. Actually, give me a new pad, or
Here you go. Look at this guy.
yeah. There we go. So this way I can see.
So besides the obvious tint of the color of the Camaro, you can also tell the brand new pad how white it is. So you have the tint of the color, plus you have the embedded dirt that it's removed. So even a new car benefits from polishing.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Big difference.
Ever so lightly. Okay, new pad right there. Okay, so we're about done with the polishing, no?
Yeah, I just have to do this area right here and then we're finished.
Okay. All right, here's a question for all you guys watching right now. Are you guys all professional detailers or you just detail for yourself? Post up in the comments. And I'm gonna take Nick out of that so that way we can see here. Dun 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 dun. Okay. Sorry, I'm just checking, making sure everything's working on everywhere. Contrabida.
Nancy, can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
If you can bring that one over here, this panel right here is the quintessential example of why forced rotation reigns supreme.
Okay, let me.
This quarter all done there?
Yeah, that's good. All we have left is I'm doing this area right here. Just got to buzz over this real quick, and then we're done.
Right.
So, you know, with the C pillar.
Oh, the concurve.
Yeah, it's whatever that exact name is. But a regular machine, when you're like this, the pad won't spin. Okay, a free spinning tool. This is a gear-driven machine, so it's actually gear-driven. So an advantage of this tool is that it's not going to stop spinning. You can power through this as so. You go up here, and look at this. Just keeps on going and going. Plenty of power. Look at that. Doesn't stop spinning at all. You see that? Keeps on going. It's a thing of beauty. You get up. And that's why you really can't narrow it down to just one tool. I've been selling these tools for almost 13 years, and ideally I would have the PXE80 for the small areas, the XCE for areas like this, and then again, if you come across a vehicle, this big flat panels like a truck or an SUV, the XFE, which is Flex's large stroke machine, it's as smooth as butter. It's an awesome tool. So these are tools. It's not really how much money they cost you, which they make you money and they make your job easier. So I just wanted to point that out.
Okay.
Nick,
Yeah.
maybe take a look at this. Looks like we've got some like water spots or some sort of little.
In there? Okay.
Wonder if we should try and hit it again, or.
Well, that actually brings up a good thing. How do you know when to stop going after something or when you need to adjust your technique?
I'm going to give you this tool. Just do like maybe one drop and just go over this real quick, Jerry.
I can't. Probably, oh, I see it. Yeah.
So let me grab my.
Yeah, what it is there's some water spots right along that.
Oh yeah, I see it.
That's with either the PXC 30 or 80. With the,
Yeah, you can do that a couple different ways.
You want a demo one?
Yeah, sure. So you can do the poor man's technique and take one of your towels that you've already used. This is our complete swirl remover. And this might work, it might not work, depending on how long they've been there. You know, I could spend a lot of time trying to get a tool in there, or I could just do this.
Sometimes working by hand is the only way.
Yeah, just get in there and just rub. Now when you do work by hand, you want to make sure you have ample amount of product on the surface too. This is kind of a weird area, and this is where that flexible extension would really come into play. Because it might be hard to see on camera from where you guys are looking, but it's not like it's right here, it's
Yeah,
right at an angle.
Yeah, it's right where the water comes off the spoiler and sits.
Yeah, it's really hard to see that. And yeah, like you said, Yancey, the water from the spoiler just comes down there. And it looks like just this one area.
I know, guys, it's hard for me to show you guys out there.
Yeah, so it took care of it underneath the spoiler.
You just got the little part right in front.
Yeah, there's a real small spot right here,
Yep.
which I can rub out. But yeah, there's really and hey, check this out. This is the scan grip. So when you're working on this, what you don't want to do, here's a mistake people make, is they put it on the panel, it's magnetic, they twist it off. Or
Yeah,
they,
no.
Yeah, they go, oh look, I need to be right here. So they twist it, lift up. So with this light, this is the perfect example. I said the spot was right there. And we sell these on McKees37.com. Boom, I can see my area right there. And that way you don't have to give the flashlight to your kid and then potentially yell at them for not holding it straight. Not that any of us dads would ever do that.
Nope.
So then I take my towel. And the great thing about my arm is that God gave it to me. I didn't have to buy it from anywhere, so no special tools required.
Ah.
And this is why you don't polish by hand, because I'm in pretty good shape overall, but just doing the small area, it's like realization that I would not want to do this whole car by hand.
Oh, come on.
I mean, there's no way. I really wouldn't want to do that.
All right, I am going to switch over to the other
on?
one. I got to replace the battery in this camera, Nick.
Look at that, it's gone.
As I walk
better,
away,
right?
he reveals.
Who would have thought?
Doctor of Vehicular Dermatology.
Yep, remember, lift it right off. Boom.
Great light.
Oh man, these are great.
All right, Nick, we're back on camera one.
Okay, cool. Are we all finished, fellas? Okay, I got a towel already if you want it, Gary. Right there, it's already wet.
All right, I got to swap a battery out on that, so if you want to talk to anything, it's on that camera.
So I do want to point something out. My audio's on, right, Yancey? I'm good?
Yes.
Okay. Oh yeah, I didn't change anything.
Yep, you're on.
Okay, so if you have a garage, well, number one, you need a garage to apply the coating, because the vehicle has to be away from moisture or water for 24 hours. When you see a vehicle like this or a process like this, you don't have to do all of this in one day. So what I'll normally do is when I polish and coat my own vehicles at home, I do them on the weekend because I'm not here at the office working. So what I'll do is I'll wash the car on Friday night, spend the time doing that. It takes me about an hour, hour and a half. I'll pull it in the garage, and then the next day I'm starting fresh. So I've gotten a good night's rest, I've fed myself a big breakfast, then I have lots of energy. If you try and do all of it in one day by yourself, you have to know when to stop, because if you run out of energy or you find yourself becoming impatient, that's when you start to rush things. So there's no shame in breaking this into 2 days or even 3 days. If you're retired, you can spend all week if you'd like, but just take your time and do it the right way. All right, so if we're done polishing, let's take the tape off.
Looking good, guys.
Mm-hmm. All right, so let's also take the towels we've used. We don't have to get real hardcore about any missed polish spots because we're going to use the prep spray. But let's take our dirty towels and throw them in the dirty towel box.
Wow, you guys should see what it looks like on camera right now.
Yeah, I have to sneak a peek. I'm immature. I have no patience.
Yeah, correct. It's absolutely.
Holy smokes! Wow.
That looks amazing. You want to see the other side? Oh, the other side's a little bit dark because we don't have a light in the back.
That's crazy. Wow. I'll tell you guys, it looks good on camera where you're sitting, but I'll tell you in person, it's bonkers. And we haven't even coated it yet. We've just polished it. So, okay, guys, the next step is we're going to use the coating prep spray. I have a bottle here, and I have a bottle over there.
All right, Nick, before you start, Luke Pryan, laugh out loud. I tried the cheap out and hand polished my wife's SUV earlier this year. Bought a polisher the next day.
Yeah, no, I know, right? It reminds me of the towel thing. People say, you just want to sell me more towels, or you want to sell me a buffer. Right? It's like, well, yeah, because it's what you need, right?
Trying to save you.
Okay, so the next step. Okay, we don't need that many. You have one, I have one. There's one up there, right?
Yeah.
So let's get 3. That's it. I got the other towels for the next step.
All right, you demoing right now?
I'm going to in a momentarily, yeah.
All right, I'm on camera too.
There's a little thing if you want to show that.
We're good for that, yeah.
If you want to show that off, having a little.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is good.
All right, coming.
So before the demo, Yancey, Gary found a.
We were talking about why you look at your towels.
Look at that. And there's something here too.
Yeah.
You know, just you want to, and you can peel it out, and it's fine afterwards if you can get it.
That's why you visually inspect and feel with your hands.
But yeah, it's always good to spend a
Let me
whole
slide behind you guys.
3 seconds to look at your towels. You only make that mistake once if you find, and it's happened to me, you see big long scratch on the side of your car because you did not look at your towel. So
Yeah, that's where you politely put it down, walk away, say some things, come back.
and then if you want to get really hardcore, don't inspect your towel on your paint that you just polished, because if there is something and you didn't notice it, do it on your glass or your workbench, whatever. So at this point, just to recap, we've washed the car, we've chemically decontaminated using coating prep auto wash and extreme iron remover. We mechanically decontaminated using the universal clay bar. We polished the paint using complete finishing polish. So at this point, we've removed bonded contaminants, above surface contaminants, and below surface contaminants, and it looks great. The next step is to chemically strip the paint of any polishing oils, and for that we're going to use McKee's 37 coating prep spray. So, you know, I always say, like, this is the most important step, or this is the most, they're all the most important step. So what this does is a polish like the complete finishing polish. There's abrasives, but they're suspended in solvents and lubricating oils, and that's all good. But what happens is the oils, some of the oils are left behind on the paint, and they will actually prevent the coating from properly adhering. Because the oils, this is a body shop safe polish, the oils are water soluble, so it'll affect the bonding of the coating. So what coating prep spray does is it dissolves the oils so you can safely wipe them away. And in the process, it leaves the paint squeaky clean, so the coating will actually stick to the surface. And a lot of guys will say, I just mix up alcohol, you know, I go in my bathroom cabinet and I get some IPA, not Indian Pale Ale, but the other IPA, isopropyl alcohol, and you know, they mix it with water. And will that work? Yes, absolutely. But look how beautiful this car is. We just spent all this time polishing it. Why on earth would we want to use alcohol from our bathroom to chemically strip it? The issue with the alcohol mixed with water is that it's a very poor lubricant. So you spray it on, it flashes, and there's nothing to really wipe off. So this is a combination of alcohol, that is a primary ingredient, plus it has lubricious polymers to lubricate the surface, and it has surfactants. So there's a science behind this, and using it is really simple. So you have your panel right here, you take the product, and you spray it on, and unlike alcohol, it doesn't just flash right away, it actually stays on the surface. So you spray it on, and like everything else we make, it smells absolutely phenomenal. And you'll see how it wet the surface. It's staying on there. Now you'll capture this with the camera, and this is how we formulated it. So when I start wiping it off, after a couple seconds, it starts to flash on its own. So it's activated by wiping with a towel, because you don't want it to stay on the surface too long, otherwise it won't completely dissolve the oil. So you'll see there, Yancey, it's flashing away, and that's on purpose. Then you take your towel and you flip it over, and you remove the remaining residue. And what you're left with is surgically clean paint that you could eat off of, or put a coating on.
Neat
I would go for the
smell-o-vision.
latter. And another benefit of this step is that, I mentioned to you guys, don't go too hardcore with trying to find any areas where you didn't wipe polish off all the way. This will dissolve that. Yeah, it'll take care of it. And I don't think this happened with you guys, but if you ever have any polish in between emblems or cracks of the door, this helps dissolve that too. So you can spray this on a Q-tip, and you can get in there and it'll actually break up the polish. It makes it a lot easier.
Good tip.
Yeah, it's good stuff to have around, really good stuff too. And what happens too a lot of times is if you're new to polishing, people that are new tend to apply too much polish to their pad, and as they go over certain areas, the polish is slung off the pad and it becomes impacted, like in your door jambs, or especially the trunk lid. So if that dries, it can be hard to remove. This will dissolve that, so you can wipe it away. So I have 2 bottles of coating prep spray. We should have plenty of towels, the orange towels, since we're all tag teaming this, but it's just exactly like I showed you. Spray it and wipe. That's it. There's really nothing to
And
it.
go!
This will take us 5 minutes.
All right, you're on the clock. 5 minutes.
Here's your bottle, Gary. And you can use the buddy system. A lot of work went into formulating this product because the issue is that if it doesn't flash soon enough, then like I said, it just kind of creates a slurry of oils and cleaners that sticks in the surface. But if it flashes too quickly, then you're scratching the paint because there's not enough lubrication. So there's a lot of work that goes into everything. And then of course, when you have the perfect formulation, naturally you want it to smell good, so then you have to add the right fragrance. Some fragrances will actually promote streaking or smearing or a haze in the surface. So there's so much that goes behind this, stuff like this. It's not just a random,
And let's make it smell like scent number 392.
Scent number 392.
Put you guys there for a second. All right, we are at 2 hours.
Yeah, we should be, I just turned my mic off, Nancy, and use the bathroom.
Oh, I muted you.
Okay, we should be half hour top.
Okay.
Like,
All right, you all, I am back. Well, if you missed what they're doing, they are stripping the paint, all the polish oils off of the paint and prepping it for the graphene coating, which is going to be the next step. Let's see here. I asked a question if you guys are professionals or what you are. Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, Contrabite. I was saying this when we started. Yancey, I miss you, man. Missed you too. Great stuff from McKee's. I'm glad that you like them. Luke Pyron. Just a DIY guy here, but have 4 vehicles, so it sometimes is like a full-time job. Well, if they're black, it is a full-time job, and that you only need 1 black car to have a full-time job. Chris M, Weekend Warrior. Tom, we have Self-Detailer, Weekend Warrior. Hey, detailing is a good way to make a little side money. I mean, really, truly is. Cliff LeBlanc, just a guy who likes his cars clean. I respect that. Bunny, I like to think that I'm professional, maybe one day when I retire from my real job. That's funny. Oh, I already read that one. Chris M., the Glacier drying towels are a close second in the favorite product category. Those are nice. Al Daly, car looks incredible. We'll make sure the guys know that. We have Ryan L., he's a pro.
Okay, I'm back.
All right, you were unmuted.
Yep.
All right, we have Bunny. I think that it's shiny. Looks like my bald head. Matt Lauer.
Just for men.
Right? Matt Lauer, Weekend Warrior. So we got a good mix in here. We got some Weekend Warriors, we got some self people, and we also have some pros in here. Oh, wow, that's a nice compliment. Tom Lankow, that car looks more like a show car now.
Yeah, yeah.
Mo Man, not a professional, but I detail my buddy's Corvette to get them ready for a show season here in Cincinnati.
I have an extra towel.
I bet
guys,
right
if
now
you need
you're
it,
getting
okay?
ready to put them up for the winter, though, in Cincinnati. Yeah, I have to travel 2 weeks from now, and I looked up what the weather's going to be like up in Memphis. It's cold. I'm not used to going where there's cold weather, people. Snow flurries this morning. Ow. Sorry. But hey, I grew up in Wyoming originally, so I'm no stranger to snow. That's why I left. Okay, so you guys about done with that?
Just about, yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to think where would be a good... Actually, that front fender again for that, because then I can capture the flashing with that light,
Okay.
just like how we did the paint prep.
Anybody do this?
Yes.
Okay, and like again, guys, there's the Feed 25 going on until midnight tonight, where you can get 25% off all chemicals on McKees37.com. Just go to the site, put some stuff in your bag. If it's a chemical, type in McKees 25 when you go to checkout, and you'll get 25 or Feed 25, and you'll check out and you'll get 25% off. And that offer is good till midnight tonight.
And free shipping over 95 in the 48 states.
Oh, there you go. See, you didn't tell me that one.
Yeah. Gotta surprise you.
And don't forget the over $400 graphene prize that we have going on. Nick will be going back through all this and announcing the winner in the comments.
And the Ford Mustang for sale. Shoo! Just kidding.
Like 2 kids?
Come on.
Ryan, still doing the Cars and Coffee. Yes, we are doing Cars and Coffee. And Nick, you want to talk about next month's Cars and Coffee, December's Cars and Coffee?
So Cars and Coffee is held here at our facility the first Saturday of every month. We're in Stuart, Florida, and it's from 8 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. But people tend to get here a little bit earlier, which is okay. If you want a good parking spot, get here by 7:30. So we have, cars, we have a tech session, we have unlimited coffee and donuts and pastries for like $3. And the December event, we're actually letting our friends host the Built Not Bought car show. So if you have a car that you've built yourself, check it out online. You can register for that. But otherwise, first Saturday of the month, we have Cars and Coffee here at our facility. It's great. Great time of fellowship with other car guys. Good, clean fun. You guys about ready? What's that, Yancey?
No, I just went bop bop to your good, clean fun.
Oh.
No pun intended.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, if you guys are ready to do the coding, let's make our way up here.
Oh, Ryan L. wants to know, you're coating the glass.
Not for this one, no. No, so this we're just doing the paint. The owner knows how to coat the glass, so he'll likely do it himself. But to coat the glass, you would polish it, chemically strip it, and then apply the coating.
Okay, you getting ready to do the demo?
Yeah.
All right,
yeah.
let me switch cameras.
Okay.
1 and 2.
Yeah. Thank you, Gary.
All right.
Okay. I want to point out my Carolina detailing cart. We sell these. These carts are awesome. We also have one with a cutout for a bucket, so you're not bending over when you wash a car, but it's always nice to have an area for your stuff, your drinks.
Keep stuff clean.
Keep
Keeps
stuff
it
clean,
handy.
yeah. Keep stuff really clean. Okay, guys, so we have 2 bottles of coating. So again, what we'll do with this is the buddy system, and a little bit of this goes a long way. All 3 of you have actually used it at this point. You don't have to use a ton, so it doesn't take a whole lot. This 1 bottle, this is our ProCoat 2.0. This is a 10-year graphene coating. What this does is that it fills in all the pits, pores, and valleys and makes the paint perfectly smooth, which gloss comes from smoothness as a reminder, and it leaves the paint just looking absolutely brilliant. So right now this car looks phenomenal. It really does. Once you put the coating on there, and after it's cured, it's going to look it's mind-blowing. And Nancy will get good footage for the other video that you'll see, but I mean, you can see it on camera right now. So for example, we did the hood yesterday, and when we came in this morning, we were just like, wow. Like, it looked great yesterday, right?
It looked better today.
But just, because when the coating hardens, you get that glass-like candy shell hard look. And the coating is far more chemical resistant than waxes or paint sealants or...
Oh, speaking of which, remember we talked with the owner and
Yes.
about the durability factors of all this stuff. Sorry, I didn't mean to get you sidetracked. but I
Oh,
just thought of
no,
that.
it's okay. So the owner pointed out to me, this is a Power Dome hood. You know, this has a fire-breathing 6.2 liter supercharged V8, which is hand-built, awesome motor. And this is a heat extractor right here. So this is designed to get heat out of the motor, because you have all that V8 with the blower on top of it. It produces heat. Heat is the enemy of horsepower, right? So this has an aerodynamic component, but it also releases hot air from the engine bay. So the owner's manual explicitly says, do not put a wax on this. And the reason why is because a wax, which contains oils, will actually melt on the surface, and you'll get like a hazing effect or a marbling effect, and it just won't look that great. And normally, guys that buy cars like this, they're not buying it to go to Sam's Club to buy toilet paper. They're buying it to drive it. They're buying it to wax it. They're buying it to enjoy it, right? So with the coating, you don't have to worry about that. The coating, there's no oils. It's actually going to protect this, and it's not going to melt off. So glad you brought that up, Yancey. So applying the coating, we've gone through all the steps. We have the applicator here, and this is a specially designed applicator pad that we make. There's a coarse gray foam there, which makes it really easy to hold on to. And then there's a closed cell crimson foam along with a barrier so the coating does not penetrate too far. When coatings first came over to this country, because they originated overseas for the most part, they included these little tiny makeup applicator pads. And the first time I saw one of those, I'm like, why in the world would you want to hold this little thing, you know? And I had DeQuer veins at the time in my hand, so it was especially unappealing. Hold these little tiny makeup applicators and go like this, right? I mean, we're Americans. We like things big. You know, we want to get it done. You know, get it done, stick a fork in it, and go home. So we created this big applicator pad, and it makes it so much easier. So it's easy to hold on to, and applying this is really simple. You take the child safety cap off the coating, which...
Oh, you turn your back so you don't see you.
There we go. Well, the technique is to go like this. See, there's a technique for everything. If you go like this, then you're not putting the pressure down. So there is a technique for everything. But yes, it is a very secure child safety cap. All right, so there's a dropper. And the reason we use a dropper is for precise measurement. And this is a brand new applicator pad, so I'm going to put a little more on it than I normally would.
So essentially you're priming your pad.
Yeah. So at this point the pad will be primed, which means I'm just putting working product in it. Now I'm actually applying some. Alrighty. And then in previous videos, people have asked me, you know, hey, how come you're not wearing gloves or a respirator and all this stuff? And the reason why is because I don't do this that often. If I owned my own detail shop, and if I were doing this 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week to feed my family, and being exposed to chemicals like coatings, then yes, I would wear gloves and I would wear a respirator. But for this, our coating is very mild in terms of the solvent that we use, following the trend of high quality chemistry. You'll notice I'm not coughing or hacking or wheezing. It doesn't really smell that bad. There's a lot of coatings in the market that smell awful and they will clear a room. That's why you have to wear a respirator. This is not like that. So anyway, it's on the applicator pad, and it's best to demonstrate this on a big flat panel if possible, but right here we're doing a fender. Basically, because we already did the hood, you'll outline your area more or less, and I always like to simplify it and say do one panel at a time, instead of giving you a complex math equation where you have to figure it out on your own. So you outline the panel, and then I'll just quickly go over it, just to help spread a uniform coat over it.
And you're going all in pretty much one direction?
I mean, right now I'm just kind of going all over the place, just to help spread it out so I don't have a thick pool of product. And then after that, I'll go side to side, and then up and down. Over here.
And if you watch the reflections, you'll eventually start seeing it rainbow.
Yep. So basically, and it's all about spreading it out, getting a nice uniform coat. And I put this on just a tad heavy, and by the time you finish applying it to a panel, it's ready to be removed. And it's kind of hard to see on this paint because part of the rainbow effect is a red color.
Yeah, I'm seeing it right there.
Oh, cool. All right, you can see how it's
Yeah.
a rainbow color.
You can see it if you look in the highlight, people that are watching on the web, you can see the rainbow effect going on. See if I can follow it down to there. There we go.
Yep, good job capturing that.
There we go.
So at this point, what's happening is the coating is flashing. So in that bottle, you have a carrier, and then you have suspended in that carrier are the nanoglass graphene particles, and those graphene particles are left behind, and then the carrier is wiped off. So take your towel. You want to use the flat weave side, not a fluffy side. Fold the towel 4 ways, and this is the easiest part of the entire detail. Wipe it off. Short, firm strokes, and the coating comes off like a dream.
So you're not fighting it, you're not struggling.
No.
I know I've played with some that you go to remove it, it's like removing
No.
stuck on rubber.
What happens with those, Yancey, is the chemist develops a product and they just kind of say, hey, that's it, too bad.
And we're good.
If it's hard to wipe off, I don't care. It does what I told you it would do. We go the extra step. We want it to be user-friendly, because what will happen is you'll use this and then you'll tell your friend about it. And then your friend will buy it and they'll tell their friend about it. So really, really easy to wipe off. And after you do a section, so I wiped it all off and then I flipped the towel to another side. At this point, it looks great. Flip the towel to a fluffy side, which this is the white towel that's included with the coating. We also sell these. And this is going to be my final wipe. And whenever I wipe it off, I always make sure I'm also wiping adjacent panels, because if I accidentally apply the coating to the adjacent panel, this will help wipe it off. Or when I was actually buffing it off with the towel, it might have spread some. So I'm always working on adjacent panels to make sure any excess has been removed. But that's all there is to it.
Look at that gloss.
Oh yeah, and after it fully cures, because this is going to harden, and this hardens much more so than like a wax or a sealant, so you get a much thicker film of protection, and it's extremely hydrophobic, so when water hits it, it's just going to fly right off the paint. It's going to take dirt and grime with it.
And okay, now talking about water, how long before you can get this wet?
So 22 hours, 38 minutes, 12 seconds, and 3 nanoseconds. Just kidding. So we say 24 hours. That's the industry standard for all coatings. Ideally, you want to have at least 12, 13, 14, 15 hours. What will happen is if the coating does not cure properly, if it's meaning it's exposed to water or moisture, any kind of moisture will become trapped in the coating as it's curing. So what will happen is this coating cures to form a really hard coat, and then you have water that's trapped in and it leads to water spots. And since the coating does cure so hard, it'll be difficult to polish out those water spots. So you need to keep it in the garage, not a carport, but a garage. So what I want to do, fellas, is the buddy system, and not just for us here, but for you at home. Grab your wife or your weird neighbor or your kid, whatever it is. It's good to have a second set of eyes, because in the real world, when you're doing this by yourself, you've been out here for a couple hours, you tend to get tired. So I want to have one person apply it and then have another person wipe it off. Okay, but wait till the person is finished applying it to the entire panel before you wipe it off. What you don't want to do is be applying it and have the other person wiping behind you. Okay, so we'll team up. I'll team up with you, Gary.
How does temperature and humidity affect this?
So
Camera 2.
Good question. So Gary asked, how does temperature and humidity affect it? This coating is not affected by it too much. If it's really cold, like 30s or 40s, then it's going to affect the flash time, and it'll be a little bit more difficult to wipe off. With that being said, this coating is very friendly to the heat. Heat, not the sun, heat. So when I applied it last weekend to my car, it was like 85 degrees. We were building up a sweat. It was easy, right? I mean, really easy to wipe off. Some coatings, you have to be in air conditioned, and you have to have this. We don't bother with that. That's too specific. We make it easy. So if you're in a hot garage, it's fine. So Gary, I'll team up with you. You guys team up, whoever wants to apply and whoever wants to wipe off. But we have a whole stack of towels over there, guys. The white towels. We'll dedicate the white towels for the coating. So let's stick with those. Any questions from watchers or viewers, Yancey?
Yeah, I'm going through that. Mo Man, you saying you lost video. I'm still showing that I'm streaming. Can you confirm that you actually still seeing it? I'm still showing that it's streaming. Yeah.
If I get sidetracked by a question, you can just wipe it off, like if you're doing it yourself,
All right. All right, video's fine. All right, thank you guys, thank you. I just saw that Mo lost video. It's because he's retired and he's on a 2.5 hour lunch break is what he said.
Oh.
Okay, questions from out here. Let's go. Awas. Hey again, quick question about my wheels. Can I use a Hydro Blue SiO2 on top of my wheel cleaner gel, then rinse them both off together?
No, so you need to rinse off your wheel cleaner after cleaning the wheels, and then apply the Hydro Blue. So don't apply Hydro Blue on top of a wheel cleaner.
Okay. All right, Mo Man, I'm glad to see you back. Mike G is asking, still on camera too, Nick, just as easy as other Mickey's coatings?
Yeah, so if you've used our 5-year coating, which I think you have, Mike, this wipes off just as easy, which we went through several iterations of this, and the reason it's called 2.0, even though it just came out, is the fact that actually I applied 1.0 to my Mustang, and it was just a little too hard to wipe off. Other companies would find it acceptable, but for us it wasn't acceptable, so we spent another year tweaking that formula and making it easy to wipe off, so which we've achieved that, clearly.
Okay, what was that one question? Al Daly, would that bottle possibly do 4 cars? All depends on the size of your car.
Yeah, 4 Miatas, if you're experienced, maybe, but certainly not 4 of these Camaros.
Average sedans, what, say 2?
I would say 2, if you know what you're doing. New people that tend to be inexperienced will apply too much. They could probably get 1.5 out of it.
Camera 1. I brought it over to camera 1.
Okay.
I saw you were looking there. Tom Lanko. That looks almost too easy.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's as easy as it looks. It's not hard.
Yeah, we put forth the time and the effort to develop products that are easy to use. And I'm not trying to say anything bad about anybody else, but we spend the extra time before releasing it.
You detail. You like touching your car, so you don't want anything that's going to make the process longer.
No, not at all. anything is possible if you have the right people and you take enough time. You know, I could have came out with this 13 months ago, 1.0, and had it be hard to wipe off, but it's just not worth it. Take our time.
Oh, here. All right, here we go. Here's another one. Luke Pyron. Can the graphene coating be used on wheels as well?
Yes, yeah. So this coating can be used on wheels, on glass, really any hard, smooth surface. The only area that this is up, you know, your own discretion is plastic trim. And the reason why we don't officially recommend plastic trim is because we have not done thorough enough testing yet, because plastic trim varies so much from all vehicles.
All plastics are different.
It's all different. So most people have been using our regular graphene coating on plastic trim, and they swear by it. But again, at your own discretion.
Proceed with your own caution.
Yes, yeah.
All right, and CJ Byrne actually is asking a great question here. CJ Byrne 27, is this a 1-layer coating or is 2 recommended for 10 years of production?
If I had $1 for every time someone asked me that, so great question. Most coatings on the market, they recommend multiple layers. With ours is what you call a high solids coating. So we put a lot of the juice in the bottle.
The juice.
So that's a technical term. You know, I had to get a 7-year degree to learn that. So no, just 1 coat. That's all you need, 1 coat. So again, the philosophy that we approached this with was we just wanted to keep it simple, and we tested all these other coatings, and you know, we told our chemist, hey, we just want 1 coat. That's all we want. So apply 1 coat as instructed, and it'll last as intended. Of course, you need to maintain it the right way too. Don't wash the car using a brick and dishwashing detergent. So you have to wash it the right way too. How we looking, Gary?
I think we're starting to get a little rainbow.
Okay, cool.
Rainbow.
Any other questions, Yancey?
I'm going back to.
Okay. I'm going to wet my whistle then while you're doing that.
Yeah. All right, here's a good one. Al Daly, how would the owner maintain this gem?
So, which camera, Yancey?
Let's go to camera 2.
So, how the owner is going to maintain it is using our graphene auto wash, our graphene detail spray. He'll use that in between washes or for touch-ups. You know, maybe he's bored one evening, and you know, he'll come out to the garage while his wife is watching Jeopardy, and he wants to touch the car. He'll use the detail spray. I heard someone laughing. I don't know if that's how it happens at my house. You know, wife's watching TV, and I want to go out in the garage and play with the car. We also have the hydrographene, which he can use to maintain it as well, as just to give it a boost after a while. But to be honest with you, Yancey, and I hate to sell this because you know, my goal is to sell more product so I can build a car care empire and feed my family and retire at a decent age. You can really just get away with using the graphene auto wash and the graphene detail spray. You don't have to boost it with anything. So a lot of coatings, they say every 3 months you have to use this other coating on top of it. We don't bother with that. It just doesn't make sense to us.
All right, Tom Lanko. Actually, here's a good question for you, Nick.
Yeah.
What would the life expectancy be if used on wheels?
So that's a good question. All wheels are different, kind of like the plastic trim. Not necessarily the wheel itself, but this Camaro, it's a ZL1, and you know, it has massive, if I had to guess, I mean, this is, the brake rotors are as large as the pizza we had for lunch. Probably 16-inch rotors, 6 piston calipers. This is a track car. This is not a car for going to Sam's Club. And it has softer brake pads because of its performance intentions. Now, softer brake pads, they produce more dust. More dust, you have more surface on the wheels, and that's corrosive. So that's going to wear it down faster than someone driving a Buick LeSabre to Publix and back to buy their salami for the week.
You think so?
Or vegetables or whatever. Chris likes salami. Hey, more power to you. I've eaten enough salami for 3 lifetimes, so I'm done with it.
Oh, actually, here's another one. I don't know, Ryan L., if you're meaning this or not, but could you use this on vinyl wraps?
So yeah, you could.
Like, or graphics, vinyl graphics?
Yeah, so we actually just got our van rewrapped recently, and pretty soon we're going to coat it you know, the wraps last like 5-6 years if you get a good one. And we applied our ceramic coating to our last one, and it looked great even when it came time to come off. So yeah, you can, absolutely.
What about carbon fiber?
So carbon fiber, 99% of the time has a clear coat. So yes.
Okay.
I've never seen non-clear coated carbon fiber on a car, at least not exposed.
Well, race cars, those are the only ones that don't.
Yeah, which they're not waxing race cars.
Yeah. How about curing time? We pretty much said that. You know, 12 to 24 hours. 24 would be the highly recommended one. So
Yep.
that way you give it a chance to cure and harden. And I think I'm caught up on most of the questions, Nick. I've been asking them as they've been coming. So.
And if you guys have any more, spit them out, because we're going to be done here in about 10, 15 minutes tops.
Yeah. Oh, that gives me another chance for you guys to remember that they do have, Nick is giving away over $400 worth of ceramic products. What is it, all the stuff that we're working on here with here?
So it's our complete kit. Yeah, you get everything you need to do it yourself. The only thing I'd recommend buying extra, unless you already have a lot of nice towels, buy some extra nice towels.
All right. So that will be given away. Nick will be coming back through and announcing the winner on the comments and everything like that. So what do you call it? Just we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to watch. And then also, if you did not hear me any of the other times, if you use feed 25, you can get 25% off all chemicals until midnight tonight. That is November 18th for all of you people watching here in the future. It ends at midnight, or November 18th, 2022.
So here's a common question people ask, Yancey. How long can you leave the coating on before wiping it off?
Oh, good one.
Let's say you get distracted.
You get an important phone call.
Or you told your wife you'd be in the garage for 2 hours and you're on hour 6. And she comes out and she yells at you and you get distracted for a moment. Okay, and you don't wipe it off right away. Okay, I'm not speaking from personal experience. One of the many goals with this was to also make it flexible and easy to use in case, God forbid, you screw it up. So during our experimenting and our testing, when you apply this as I instructed and as my guys are doing here, and before you wipe it off, if you apply it and you walk away for 10 minutes, it'll still wipe off really easily. So very user-friendly. If you do have a spot that you did not wipe off completely, that's what we call a high spot. Which is fancy for excess product. You might notice that the next day, when the owner picks up his Camaro on Monday, if he takes it home and let's say he sees a little smudge and he takes a towel and he tries to wipe it off. And at that point, it's not going to wipe off because the coating is hardened. All he has to do is take some polish and just rub off the excess by hand. It'll take off the high spot, but not the actual coating. So very simple.
Okay, awesome. Then also in the comments, if you guys like this live feed and like to see more and you have any suggestions or anything that you would like to see demonstrated or discussed, post them up in the comments. Always looking for feedback, and we want to be able to do the things that you guys are interested in, and you never know.
Yeah, your feedback's important. I mean, there's a lot of work that goes behind this. Yancey was here for a couple hours getting everything set up first. I mean, you run wires, you make sure the internet, the audio. I got to have these guys here doing this. They're not free. So please leave your feedback. I like constructive feedback. If you present something that hey, maybe we could do better.
This better. Yeah, please.
Just,
it's the only way to learn. Yeah.
Instead of just pointing out a negative, like, hey, Nick, you're short. I mean, there's other things that you can be constructive.
A little off topic, if I can get my words coming out of my mouth right. But what floor covering is that in the shop? Isn't this Race Deck?
This is Race Deck, yeah. Race Deck, they're made in USA. They're great floor tiles. I'm partial towards the competing product, which I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Oh, I know what you're.
I have it at home. I should know.
Race Deck.
Swiss Tracks.
Swiss Track. There
yeah,
it is.
Yeah, Swiss Tracks. I like the Swiss Tracks. Race Track makes a competing product, but the flow-through tiles. What I like about those is I can perform a rinseless wash in my garage, and because they're flow-through, the water goes through and just lands on the concrete and then eventually dries. Where this, it stays wet. But these look great.
Yeah, you sit down on the floor like a day later and your butt's wet.
And your butt's wet, yeah. But these are really, really great floor. Made in the USA, awesome company.
Oh, Bunny. Let's go to Bunny here real quick. Yes, more live feeds. How about ceramic coatings for the inside too?
So we have our SiO2 leather guard, which is for the interior. It's kind of hard to fit all 4 of us plus Yancey inside of this car to film a video, so
That'd be a tight fit.
that'd be a tight fit. So we'll probably pass on a live interior feed.
Well, that's where a convertible. We need a convertible for.
Yeah, which
Like an old 51 Lincoln or something like that.
yeah, something big that yeah. But we have videos though online that I cover all that stuff.
Yes.
I cover everything.
And stay tuned because there's some major things coming down the pike we can't really talk about right yet. But just
Yeah.
watch the socials. Some big
Yeah.
stuff coming.
Yeah, there's some good stuff coming. I'm not making a very good buddy for Gary here. I'm supposed to be his buddy with this.
I know.
He's
Cherry, you're on your own.
He's probably, good thing he's not wearing a mic. He's probably cursing me out underneath his breath. But
All right, Fazul. The only thing that I could be done a little bit better in this video is switching out that car for mine. Just a small critic.
oh yeah, yeah, I know, right? Yeah, next time we're gonna have a white Camry.
Oh, all right. Here, I know I get asked this question a lot, and let's see what Nick has to say about this. JB, can you apply the ceramic coating over peeling clear coat, or should I wet sand and repaint the area first beforehand?
Wet sand it, repaint it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it's peeling, it's just going to keep peeling.
Yeah, clear coat failure. It's a cancer for the paint, and like you said, once it's going, it's going. It's going to happen.
Yeah,
because the chemistry, when paint fails like that, the chemistry of the actual paint itself changes. So
And it gave up. It was pretty much the ghost left the building.
It's unstable from a chemical standpoint.
Yep. Tom Lanco, love this live, would like to see this on a daily driver. Actually, that would be a very good, like one of the projects that we did, Nick, where we do a beater detail.
Oh, yeah, that'd be like that Ultima, that hunk of junk we did.
Yep. You
that
love how
was
we
great.
talk about cars, the hunk of junk that we did.
it's-
But I mean, eventually you guys were kind of, you'll see it, and the before and after on that car was just absolutely night and day.
it was. It's
The hunk of junk.
it's funny. I find it more satisfying to detail a beater than I do a car like this because
You get to see the results.
it's just. Well, I mean, this is the results. I mean, it's easier to make a beater look good than it is for this to look good. So this is actually more work, but just a daily driver. I don't know. I like working on those.
Brian Gibson comes in. I'll be right over with my 20-year-old Land Rover.
Oh no! If it runs and drives, I'm surprised.
So are you going to be calling AAA on the way over? No.
Those Land Rover guys can get finicky. Don't be offended. I'm just joking.
He's laughing.
Good.
He's laughing. Or crying, one of the two.
Yeah.
it's one of those emojis that you can take both
Or
ways.
he's deleting his subscription to our YouTube channel.
And unsubscribe. Oh, speaking of which, oh man, what am I doing? I am like,
I'm gonna grab a glass towel.
being bad here. If you have not, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your cat, tell your dog, tell your grandmother, anybody that you want to know. The more people that we get, the better we get going out there, and plus the more that we have content going out, which means that the more things that we're going to have coming out for you. So if you can, go either to Instagram, Facebook, where you're at right now, YouTube. Hit the bell, hit the subscribe, hit the like, hit the follow. We have a detailing group, and so just look us up at
this all done, Chris?
McKees37, and you will find us everywhere we're at. And just give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and give us a share. All right. Oh, here's a good question. Al Daly coming in. Can you hear me, Nick?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
All right. In areas like the northeastern or not, and other snowy areas, is it better to leave the car outside rather than have road grime melt into the coating before doing a rinseless wash? Trying to figure that.
So if you live up north,
Is it better to leave car outside rather than have the road grime melt onto the coating before doing a rinseless wash?
So if I still lived up north, I'm from Michigan. What most people do up north is, and this is great if you have access to it, go to a pay and spray if the car is really dirty, put $1 in, rinse the heavy gunk off the paint, and then go home and do your rinseless wash in the garage. Another great option is to use and we sell them, it's the IK Foam Pro 12. We have a smaller one and a bigger one, and it's a big canister. Actually, I have it right
that
behind Nancy, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
here, let me just.
It's a big canister, and you can actually, it has a Schrader valve, so if you have an air compressor, you can pressurize it, but those are great too. But the poor man's way, just go to the pay and spray,
You see that right up there?
blast it off.
That's what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
those are awesome.
That's what they're talking about.
But eventually, try and move to Florida.
It's the best way. You moved from Michigan, I moved from Wyoming.
Oh.
I don't regret it.
I would never go back.
I mean, I miss the mountains, but I don't miss the snow. CJ Burn 27. Beaters are like 200% improvement. Agreed.
Yeah. But still, though, it's easy to make a beater look good, but this is like, it already looked good.
Yeah. This is just, like you said, taking it from 10 to 20. I mean, I've watched that shine come in, the reflection in that door from the beginning, and it's just absolutely amazing the reflection that I can get now out of that.
Oh yeah, it's and the owner, I talked to him. He's actually going to do a wheels off coating on the wheels too. So he does track this car, or he's planning to. He just got it, so he's going to graphene coat the wheels and take his time. The barrels too.
I still want to take my Hellcat to the track. I want to do it.
Got to get her done.
Go to Sebring. Go have some fun.
Yeah, this is a nice car. And for you guys just tuning in, we mentioned this earlier, but we're not doing the front bumper because it's fresh paint. So we're not coating it. He requested we don't do anything to it, so we're just leaving the front bumper alone. And this car does have the flow tie, which is really neat.
Oh, here, let me. Yeah, I can see you. I can
See it? So the GM engineers came up with this when they released the Z28 a couple years ago. That had the 7-liter in it.
Go ahead and stick your finger back in it again.
They make the bow tie, which is Chevrolet's logo. They make it hollow to increase airflow, and now it's called a flow tie. So pretty cool.
It's the little things.
Yes, I did.
What if a car has been coated, needs paint touch up?
Oh, good.
Oh,
good.
So that's a great question, Gary. And when Ivan was here, I think we discussed that in a video, and that's something that a lot of people are apprehensive about. Well, when you go take your car to the body shop, they have everything they need to prep the surface for the paint job. They know about coatings. They'll take care of it, Gary. You don't have to worry about anything. They know exactly what to do.
Okay, CJ Byrne, coming back in. Does the gloss increase as the coating cures?
Yes, absolutely. So Yancey and I filmed the hood yesterday for a more traditional YouTube video, and the hood, like everything else, looked phenomenal. When we came in this morning, bright and early, both of us were like, even the owner stopped by. He was like, wow. He couldn't believe it. So as it does cure it, it hardens, and you get that
Turns into like a glassy gloss.
glassy candy shell, almost like
candy
you took
shell, yeah.
like liquid. It's like a pool of wet ink. I mean, it's really glossy.
All right, actually, you know what? Let me switch over to cam 2 and let's get some walk around here showing this. All right. Yeah, and we're about wrapping up, guys, so.
Yeah, we just got a minute left.
All right. But yeah, here's the hood. And just look at the gloss off of that. It's just insane. I mean, look at the light over there. The reflection of the light. That light is a good, what, 20 feet away?
Oh yeah, easily.
And you can just see the individual panels in that light. All right. Then let's go up here. And look, that massive wing, it takes 3 people to do that massive wing.
I think they work for a union.
Right? We get paid per wipe. All right, then look at the reflection in the door of the floor. But yeah, this is a good representation of the candy shell, like Nick was talking about. Then tomorrow, like 24 hours from now, a day from now, it'll actually increase. And you saw how easy it was to apply that coating. All right. Nice deep wet look.
I'm gonna pop the hood, Jerry.
All right.
Let's show them this engine, Yancey, real quick.
Okay. The heartbeat.
That used to be Chevrolet's slogan.
Yep.
Heartbeat
of America.
Yep. Well,
How long has it been? See, they're not letting you in
I
it.
know, right? Where is it?
Push down a little bit and probably pull up.
I don't see it anywhere. Hey, Gary, you're familiar with this car. Where's the hood release, do you know?
Looks like it goes sideways. Well, yeah, it just goes sideways.
Oh, there we go, duh. So here we go. And this is signed by Caleb Dudley, Performance Build Center in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Assembled with pride. Look at that, UAW. I just made a union joke. Oops. You know, I wouldn't offend anybody.
Oh, then we were talking about the heat extractor?
Yeah. So there you go. Takes it right out of there. Sucks it out. Yeah, this car is bad to the bone. I wonder when electric cars are more common, do you think someone's going to sign the electric car battery that they built? Something tells me no, but
Yeah.
you know.
Assembled by one robot in Taiwan.
Yeah.
All right. Let me put this
See the deal
back.
Orla has where they make a speaker system for the back of the E-Mustang?
That was the thing out at SEMA this year I saw. There was a video where like the fails of SEMA, and it was like everything had an electric motor in it, and now they're coming out with the speaker systems for cars, and they're just like,
Well, the new Charger concept has a.
well, they amplified the motor because actually electric cars they make noise.
Yeah.
And Dodge is like, if it's going to make a noise, we're known for being loud, so they embrace that instead of like all the other companies that try to hush them up. Do I like it? Haven't heard it in life yet, but I mean, at least, you know, if it does something, do something with it. But if it doesn't, you know, just don't make it. You know what I'm saying? All right, going back to camera 1, Nick.
Alrighty, cool. All right, guys, how we looking?
Luke Pyron. Always love the blind search for the hood release.
Yeah. You know, it only happens when you're live on camera. And I used to own one of these. Not a ZL1, but a 1LE. But the hood release is the same, you know? Well, before we wrap this up, Yancey, are there any more questions
I know,
or comments?
that's what I'm coming down to right now. All right, we do actually have a couple. We have Luke Pyron. How long until the first wash after coating?
So ideally, wait a week. And that's the standard rule of thumb for any kind of coating, not just ours. And it's really not an issue for most people because there's no need to wash it right away anyway. One thing you'll notice about a coated vehicle like this is nothing's going to really stick to the surface. Water hits it and flies right off and takes dirt with it.
Okay. Matt Lauer coming in here. I hope I'm saying your last name right.
Yeah, I think yeah.
Can you reuse the white towel, or do they need to be discarded?
So great question. If you wash the towels right away, you can reuse them. However, what will happen is the coating, just like it hardens on the paint, it'll harden in the towel. And you'll have these microscopic glass particles that can scratch the paint if you reuse them on paint. So either wash them right away or set them aside and dedicate them for dirty work, like wheels and door jambs.
Engine cleaning, whatever.
Yeah.
All right, Bunny comes in. I want to say the last of your thing, but I'm just not, but I love the name. Just want to verify this is on sale now, correct, right? And he's talking about referring to the 2.0 coating.
Yeah, so it is on sale for $195, and then we have our Feed 25 discount. And we have the kit. You know, when you buy this, buy the kit, because the kit, you save a ton of money and you get everything you need. So there's tons of stuff with the kit.
All right, we have Brian Gibson coming in here. Good job, guys. Looks fantastic. Okay, Ryan L. I'm going to answer this question for you because I did this to my car because I had it without it, and then I installed the coating, and what do you call it? I saw what the difference makes. Ryan L. Let's see how easy the rubber comes off the rear fenders. Okay, on a non-coated car, traditional wax car, and if you do any type of burnouts, I have a 2021 Hellcat Red Eye Charger, and my first big old burnout that I did, it was just waxed. And the rubber stuck on the bottom, right where the rear wheels are at. So it took me a while to get that rubber off. Then Bruno Massel, he's a professional drag racer, and he got turned on to using coatings to make it where the rubber doesn't stick to his cars, okay? So he told me about it. He's like, you know, Yancey, it really does work. So then I turned around and did it to mine, the next big old drag out that I did. Sure enough, the rubber actually came off easier. So yes, if a coated car, the rubber does not stick. If you're doing any sort of racing, drag racing, or anything like that, it does help. From personal experience.
Yeah, and coated cars in general are so easy to clean. That's the number one reason to coat your car is when you wash it.
The maintenance is
so easy.
Yes.
So easy to dry, to wash. I mean, it's just tons of benefits.
Okay, and I think this will be the last one that we're going to do.
Okay.
For the people that do not have a garage, what product do you recommend for the winter?
So
are you talking protection or are you talking cleaning? Give me a cleaning product and a protection product.
So protection product, our Graphene Deep Gloss Ceramic Sealant. That's a traditional thick liquid, really easy to apply, lasts a long time. And then to maintain, if you don't have a garage, what a lot of guys will do is they'll take their car to a pay and spray and a bucket, and they'll do a rinseless wash.
And if you don't know what a pay and spray is, it's a car wash, a coin-operated car wash.
You drive through, you put $1 in, usually a grumpy old man in the corner.
Yells at you.
Yells at you, yeah.
You can't wash your car here, it's too dirty.
Okay, guys, well, we appreciate you tuning in. I'm going to announce the winner after we get everything cleaned up and we do a few burnouts and a top speed run in this Camaro. I mean, I'm sorry, let it cure for 24 hours.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
But we appreciate you guys tuning in. This was a lot of fun. And this will also be posted to YouTube, so you can watch it again.
Yeah, the replay, yes.
You can replay it. You can do whatever you want. If you have any questions, you can always email me or call me. I am a real person. When you call our 800 number, you'll get me or Joanne or Chris. Someone will pick up the phone. You can talk to me. I usually get the phone first. You're not going to get a call center in India or anything like that. You'll actually get to talk to us as a company. Shop at mckeys37.com. When you shop at our website, it supports our YouTube channel, our store. It supports projects like this. But of course, we have resellers all over the country, actually all over the world, in Australia, in the UK. You can buy our products off Amazon if you want to get your 5% cash back with your credit card, whatever it is. But so long as you're buying McKeys 37 products, we're happy. And for non-McKeys 37 products, visit idscarcare.com. We don't carry everybody's stuff because we've only dialed it down to the companies that I believe in and that we've worked with over the years that have the same business model as us, you know, meaning that they have high quality products and they have the great service, and we work well with them, so we carry their brands as well. But subscribe to the YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to these guys.
Yes, hands
you
out to
busted
the
your
guys.
hump. Really appreciate it.
And poor Gary, you're supposed to have a buddy, and Nick left you.
Yeah, poor Gary had to do twice as much work. But subscribe to the YouTube channel. Take care, and God bless. We're going to stick a fork in this pig, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting hungry again, so we have to get some more pizza.